Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love it. My name's Jay Milne. #Blue. Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest.
Open a beer, folks. That was interesting. As per the Edmonton Oilers, as per this news release that we got moments ago at 2:31 today, the Edmonton Oilers announced that forwards Matthias Janmark and Matt Savoy, along with defenseman Alec Regula and goaltender Frederik Andersen, are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Both Matthias Janmark and Alec Regula continue to recover from medical procedures performed last season and shortly after the season concluded, respectively. While Matt Savoy and Frederik Andersen are currently rehabilitating injuries which occurred during off-season training sessions. Updates on each player's availability to return to action will be provided when appropriate. That is the news today on August 26th here in Edmonton on Edmonton Sports Talk. Well, I mean, this is big. Okay, yeah. What was the number one concern about Frederik Andersen? Health. And lo and behold, it has reared its ugly head. Now, we don't know, Ben. We don't know the extent of these injuries.
Trying to find out one of them.
Trying to dig around, suss something out. We don't know, but it is important that we tell you what the Oilers have released. This is the Reid Wilkins Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. A reminder, if you are watching us on YouTube, we appreciate that. Take time and join the nasty chat. Give a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. For those of you listening on iHeart, the iHeartRadio app or TuneIn app, or at the source, edmontonsportstalk.com, we appreciate that. Feel free to chime in on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Also, good day, bad day, either way, happy hour is on at the Canadian Brewhouse Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. with deals starting at $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse, your day just got happier. All right, let's get right into it. We got a packed 3-hour show here. The Bear headline for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeartRadio today. Obviously, Oilers news coming out of training camp. That is the news.
That is the headline.
We're going to dive into that. We're going to be in and out of that. We've already planned a show, so we have some other guests coming on, but we'll talk about it. Okay, how does this affect this team? Because when I see that this team is saying not expected to participate in training camp, to me, that says that these players are not expected to be ready for the regular season. That's what it says to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Training camp ends and the regular season begins.
You would think that, yeah, with training camp being missed, yeah.
This is a guy who, Oilers opening night, you would have expected to be the goaltender.
Probably.
Frederik Andersen. Oilers opening night, this is a player that you could have slotted in on the top line.
I would have predicted him to be on the top line to start the year. I did yesterday.
This is not no news. This is pretty big. This puts a lot of pressure on a lot of other players. We're going to take you through it. We're going to walk through it, and we want you to chime in as well. What does this mean to you? What do you think this means for the Oilers? We can't, we're not going to sit here and say, well, these are expected to be this long. We have no clue. All we can tell you is what we know, and that this is something that's going to keep these players. Now, Janmark, Alec Regula.
The article was framed in a way that Janmark and Regula were injuries from last year.
And maybe almost somewhat expected.
Yes.
Okay.
So Janmark would be the shoulder injury that he had to end his season last year. And Regula, if I had to guess, would be the knee injury that kept him out, not last year, but the year before. And then I think that's been lingering for him. And so if I had to guess, he had some type of procedure done. And that's what's been keeping him out, or going to keep him out for at least the start of training camp. Savoy, Anderson. I mean, Anderson has a widely known knee injury bug that he hasn't gotten rid of over his career. Well, I mean, we're talking to Gager a little bit about kind of his build as a goaltender, and like that can hurt his knee.
Well, it's a big. He's 6'4", 235 pounds.
230, man. Like every time you go in the butterfly, it puts that much force on your knee. So I think there's that. So if I had to guess, I think he tweaked his knee again this offseason, which I believe is what kept him out of the final last year. Savoy, I'm trying to find out a little bit more on what's going on with Savoy. I don't think it's serious. To me, if I had to get, I feel like personally, I feel like I would have heard something if it was serious.
That's a good point. If it was serious,
I feel like I would have heard.
And funny, this has a tie into our off-topic topic.
Yeah,
but if it was something serious, and I'm being serious by saying this, I think Benny would have heard about it.
Probably would have.
Okay.
So I don't think it's too. Yeah, again, I don't think it's too serious. But I think with the way that the article comes out, it looks like he could be missing opening night, which is not great to start. Now, thankfully, Oilers' start to the season this year looks pretty favorable. It's not that hard of a schedule to start. So, I guess if there's a time now, but it's funny though. Like, I guess looking at the goaltending situation, you brought in 3 goalies for a reason. It's just I would have liked to see this. I would like to see at least what you had in Levi and Jari for this year before a guy goes down.
Oh, you're going to find out. You're going to find out now. We're going to continue diving into this. And like we said, Nasty Chat, River Cree Resort and Casino Inbox, 780-218-9999. Hit us up. The Alberta Basketball Hall of Fame Gala happens this Saturday, August 29th at... I always want to say Northlands Expo Center. Inductee and local basketball legend, I would certainly say, Don Horwood, former coach of the Alberta Golden Bears men's basketball team, will be joining us on the show at 3:40. The NFL kickoff series continues. We're going to check in on Detroit and Chicago. For those of you who have been listening for a while, we're checking in again with Tom Thayer. And this time he's going to be joining us on video. Last year, you'll recall, Tom Thayer was the one that told one of the most epic stories about the Chicago Bears Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be joining us. That's color analyst on ESPN 1000 for the Chicago Bears. He'll be joining us at 5 o'clock. And then the Oilers, defensively. We're still going to dive into this because we've been going through all the different facets of the Oilers team from top to bottom. Coaches, management, goaltending, forwards. Today, it's defense. We're going to say, are the Oilers' defense, are they better, the same, or worse? Okay, that coming up for buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate. Programming note, by the way, tomorrow, Benny and I are going to be live from the Damon Bunting Charity Golf Classic, with all proceeds and all monies raised going to support Robin Hood Association out in Sherwood Park. We will be coming to you live. It's a yearly event, and what's it? A biannual event that becomes I forget how Reid phrases it. However, we're going to be coming to you live from Damon Bunting's backyard.
I can't wait, man.
Somewhere on his backyard. Maybe the basketball court.
I can't wait to shoot hoops.
Well, maybe the hot tub. Ooh. He does have a hot tub. Imagine if we just rocked the whole show from a hot tub. We would be so shriveled up at the end.
Yep, probably.
I don't know if I could comfortably sit in a hot tub that long.
Yeah, I probably couldn't either. I'm usually 20 minutes.
I'm not a hot tub. Like 10 minutes, and then
You're done?
I'm cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Some hot tub peekaboo.
My egg is hard boiled at that point. Hot tub peekaboo with Benny and Jay. Maybe we'll have to invite YouTube Trev. All right, so all of that is coming up and more. You're going to want to keep it here locked in on Edmonton Sports Talk or iHeartRadio or TuneIn or anywhere you get your podcasts. We thank you for listening now and in the future. Hello, future. But now it's time to get to the off-topic topic, which is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Ben, why does all this happening today tie into our off-topic topic?
Well, our off-topic topic today is your most interesting connection that came through later in life. Mm-hmm. And so I'll frame this by saying this, like I am younger. And so I can't say that my connections growing up have like really come to too much. Like it didn't get me this job or anything necessarily. Obviously I got to meet you guys, but that was a couple years ago. But I'd say like, I think really the only thing I can really relate this to is mainly just like getting to see some people I know on my TV and like covering them. Like for me, it was really cool this year to cover the Oilers this year with Matt Savoy because I played hockey with him growing up. I have mutual friends with him. If I see him out in public, we say hi to each other. It's about it. And then there's friends around him that I'm pretty close to. A guy on our ball hockey team, Zach Ostapchuk, just signed a 4-year deal in San Jose. So it's pretty cool. It's nice having those connections especially when you're, as I grow in my career and eventually, get to a spot where I'm having to have my guests on and start booking guys and all of that. It'll be nice to have those guys to be able to go, okay, like who knows, maybe these guys are retired by then or whatever, and come on and ask them for stories about their time playing in the league, or they know guys. I have a friend that's pretty popular among guys that have made it to the NHL now, and so. When I was booking guests for other shows and stuff, I'd always go to him, go like, "Hey, can you give me this guy for me?" He sends out a text. So yeah, I'd say that's my off-topic topic for you.
So the off-topic topic for William Huff, your most interesting connection that came through later in life. For me, it directly involves Edmonton Sports Talk.
Yeah,
because I'm going to play a little clip here. Well, I'm going to ask Brendan to play a little clip. If you have it ready, is it ready to go, Brendan? All right. Have a listen to this clip and see if you know either of these voices.
Hands it off again to Simon. Nowhere to go. Ran into a little bit of a wall and then stumbled. Picked up about 3 yards on the carry. Now you're going to be in second and long. It'll be interesting to see what the Golden Bears defense does.
I think the listeners should be able.
They were getting there you go. On those crossers, those low crossers across the middle, where you'd give the ball to a 3-yard, 5-yard pass that would turn into a 20, 30-yard play. Let's see what the Golden Bears defense can do in this situation. 2nd and 7. Lucky Daniels just entered the game. That's a great name. That is a great name, isn't it? Here is Picton. 3 of those names on Regina. 2 brothers and a cousin. Here's the cousin over the top. Almost picked off. It is picked off. That's into the hands defensively there of Reid Knox. And he's going to take it over on the far side of the field. Gets a block. Reid Knox back to the 43. Second interception of the game. And a flag against Regina on the far side of the field as Reid Knox is blocked as he took it out of bounds. What a play. It looked like it was going to be picked off a little bit further up the field, and then it came into the hands of Reid Knox. Guess who? Brandon Foster on the big play. Could have maybe got it himself. Hey, we've all done the tip drill back in the day. Tipped it up. Reid Knox came down with it. And another costly penalty. They're going to add 15 yards onto this. This is going to take this into Regina's territory.
All right, you can wrap that up. So I've told this story before, but that is Dustin doing the play-by-play and myself doing the color commentary for the Golden Bears football broadcast in Regina. It was the Golden Bears at Regina in 2015. That is 11
so
we
old. How'd you find that?
My mom taped it. So we broadcasted Golden Bears games on TSN 1260.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dustin and I would fly out to Regina with the team.
On the charter.
Hello. Do the game, fly home that night, and we were treated like kings. Like you'd get snacks and Gatorades waiting for you. And that was how I met Dustin. I'd always wanted to do something in broadcasting. And I was close enough to the alumni and close enough to the University of Alberta that they said, hey, would you want to do this, or do you know anybody? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. So that is from that's a big pull from my mom. She found those tapes, and that was Dustin and I doing the call of the Bears Regina game. But most interesting connection that came through later in life. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for Dustin and I working together back then, Dustin wouldn't have called me when Edmonton Sports Talk opened and said, hey, Jay, do you want to come in and try out the hangout and see how it goes? Right? None of that would have happened if Dusty and I didn't have that start back in 2015. So what is the most interesting connection that came through for you later in life? I'd love to hear some of that. 780-218-9999. You can hit us up. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat. Matthew Hyman says, what is happening? CDJ says, clip of the year. Sobe Kirk, this is wild. Milne and Dusty. Yeah, we were giving her. I do love, Brennan, can you play it again? I do love when you hear this quarterback throw the interception. Tell me that isn't Dustin calling a game today.
A little bit of a wall and then stumbled, picked up about 3 yards on the carry.
Now that you know it's Dustin and me,
it'll be interesting to see what the Golden Bears defense does here. Like I just mentioned,
I'm talking a million words a minute.
Those low crosses across the middle, where you give the ball to a 3-yard, 5-yard pass that would turn into a 20, 30-yard play. Let's see what the Golden Bears defense can do in this situation. 2nd and 7. Lucky Daniels just entered the game. That's a great name. That is a great name, isn't it? Here is Picton. 3 of those names on Regina. 2 brothers and a cousin. Here's the cousin over the top. Almost picked off. It is picked off. That's into the head.
That's classic Dusty.
That is classic Dusty.
All right. That is the off-topic topic for William Huff. Most interesting connection that came through later in life. All right. We're going to dive into this. We're going to get fired up about all this training camp information that the Oilers have released. For those of you that are just tuning in, the Oilers announced today that forwards Matthias Janmark and Matt Savoy, along with defenseman Alec Regula and goaltender Frederik Andersen, are not expected to participate in training camp next month. That is 4 players that are not expected to participate in training camp next month. We're going to dive into that for Fired Up. A reminder, at 3:40, we've got Golden Bears basketball legend and Basketball Alberta Hall of Fame inductee Don Horwood joining us here on the show as well. First up, we got to hear from Brendan Eric.
Frederik Andersen, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederik and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appear during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season and shortly thereafter. The Oilers open their preseason September 19th against the Jets. The Rangers and Orioles lead the Jays in the race for the final wildcard spot. Toronto is in deadlock with Seattle and Minnesota, all of them 3 games back of Cleveland, who hold the final playoff spot. On the field, Spencer Miles takes the ball for the Birds. Randy Dobnak for KC in game 2 of their set. First pitch there at 5:07. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported that the NFL will prohibit any players who return to the NCAA from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC will be suspending coaches who bring in pros, the penalty will include a half-season suspension and a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, as well as a withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting some point today. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Edmonton is expecting some changes this offseason, and I'm talking about your flooring. Paramount Flooring brings in 30 years of trusted service and expert installation. Visit their showroom, open 7 days a week, or online at paramountflooring.ca. Fired up after the break. My name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
Two guys and a goalie.
What was your favorite thing about doing two guys and a goalie?
You know what? My favorite thing was just hanging out with you guys. And I'll say that. That's
Cash,
true.
you're going to make me cry.
No, but it's true. It's true. It's just, it was, as I said before, you know, you're hanging out with friends, you're having fun, you're talking about sports, you're meeting people where they're at, and through some crazy time, just always brought me joy.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including country music legend Lori Morgan, September 4th.
Except for Monday, which was
She's a Grammy nominee and a CMA Award winner with over a dozen top 10 hits.
part of no, don't you run.
Lori Morgan live at the River Cree September 4th. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Welcome back. We are excited to be here on Wednesday, August 26th, here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and Ben Thomson, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox is at 780-218-9999. We're at Tap 25 Restaurant. There's $18.99 prime rib special. That's right, just $18.99. Available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Available for dine-in and takeout. Not available on show nights. This one comes in. The off-topic topic for William Huff today was most interesting connection that came through later in life. Bronco Nick says, I met my wife. My wife, while I hired her to be my recruiter to find me an accounting job. In the end, I recruited her to my team. That is very good. Hampton Steve said, we don't know how severe these injuries are, but the ones to Savoy and Anderson can't be minor if the team is already willing to rule them out for a month plus. Ben, I think that is very, very interesting to see a listener send that in and to see how the Oilers put this out.
Right.
When I saw that release, I said, why would the Oilers do this now?
Had to have been recent. Like, I wonder when they heard about some of these guys. Like, I think they've probably known that Janmark and Regula were going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been known. I think from their
But
standpoint.
if they're saying, like, it's August 26th, training camp ends in a month,
right?
Essentially,
Yep.
Give or take
Start
a
of
day
the seasons.
or two.
Yep.
Right
Around this time.
They're out a month. They're out. Hey, if this was Knobloch, he'd say they're out 4 to 6 weeks, and we know what that means. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but do you know what?
No, totally.
This is. I don't think this is minor news.
No, definitely. Again, though, I don't think this is an injury that's going to take out these guys for a long period of time. I really don't think so. I think they would say a little bit more. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe. To me, I don't think that an injury like this is taking you out for several months. I think there's a good chance that these guys are probably not on the starting lineup come start of the season. But they're big losses, man. Like we were highlighting, you're probably your game one starter, your first line right winger are out. Not ideal. Now, both of these guys, I think, were guys you didn't really know what to do. Like a bigger loss would have been like Zach Hyman, for example. Like that would have been probably a bigger one. But yeah, I'm curious, man. I'm really curious to hear about these injuries and how long these guys are out for. And but I also think there's opportunity for on forward. Ike Howard. To me, there should be no doubt that Ike Howard gets a top 6 look now.
Oh, you think? I mean, that's the guy who would fill the void for Savoy.
Yes.
I mean, they're very similar players.
Yes,
they have very similar game styles. Obviously, they're similar sized.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could say this might be a blessing in disguise for Ike Howard coming into training camp.
And then in net, man, I mean, they're going to give the reins to Jari.
Well, Abutsky says, I told you to quit writing off Jari.
I don't think we were writing off Jari necessarily.
I agree with you. Nobody was writing him off. We're just looking at the facts of the matter.
Yes.
We're just looking at the body of work that we had to judge him off of last year was not that strong.
Yeah. And I think there was a decent chance this year that he could be sent down to the AHL. That to me isn't, I'm not writing him off. I'm saying like, yeah, that he's going to have to be, he's probably going to have to be the starter to start this season. And that's fine. I sure as hell hope that he bounces back, man. Because if the Oilers have a starting goalie that's at the peak of what Tristan Jarry has been in his career, they're doing all right. But it's just, from what I saw last year, I'd love it. Could he bounce back? 100% he could.
I wonder what this does now. I would assume, Benny, that Tristan Jarry knew about this. I would assume in a functioning organization that you would let one of your 3 goaltenders know, hey, just so you know, don't want you to be surprised, Freddie ain't healthy. Okay?
Yeah.
What does this do? Because for me, I would hope that this would say to Tristan Jarry, to Devin Levi,
I would love if Devin Levi took the
would that not make you say, okay. Door opened.
Yep.
I better get my P's and Q's together and show up and show out at training camp and make sure I take control of that situation.
And what's funny is this conversation right here. This conversation is something probably we should have been having in December or January. And the fact that we're having it in August is not something I expected, but wow, okay, well, this is the situation they're in now. Devin Levi is a great opportunity. Tristan Jarry is a great opportunity to bounce back. I still think Anderson's going to have a role in all this, and I don't think that I'd be shocked if a guy really takes over this role to start the season. Like Freddie Anderson has shifted into like a third guy. Like I doubt that happens. Poop Stains texts in saying I am writing off Jarry. Levi will be the starter before Christmas.
Well, okay, if he deserves that title, then all the power to him. Mm-hmm. How much of you is concerned about this being the end of the road for Frederik Andersen? I mean, I'm just hypothetical here, folks. Don't please say I'm saying this is. What I'm asking is he's no spring chicken.
Nope.
Right?
He's not.
This is an injury. Well, he's had injuries in the past with his knee. And as a big goaltender, as a 6'4" goaltender, it's not going to get easier getting up and down.
No.
Okay. Joaquin, our colleague, Joaquin Gage, former goaltender, was telling us exactly that.
Right.
He's no small goaltender either.
No.
He still has a wonky donkey knee. Okay.
Yeah.
He still to this day has to deal with that.
Right.
How much more of that is Frederik Andersen going to want to deal with? I mean, it's a low contract.
That's why it was a 1-year deal.
Easily be wiped off the board.
Yep,
I mean,
totally.
This could be rectified. How much concern do you have, Benny, that Frederik Andersen may never play a game for the Edmonton Oilers?
Low. I think he'll play. I'd be shocked if he's... Again, we don't even know the injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could be separate. If I had to guess, I think it's his knee.
But knowing he had injury concerns coming in, knowing that at some point, as any rational Oiler fan probably thought, they're going to have to deal with the injury news of Frederik Andersen. They're not even skating.
No.
Training camp hasn't started, and he's already been ruled out.
Yeah. No,
and
totally.
I'm telling you, this has the capability of compounding.
Totally. It totally could. But to me, I think he'll at least give it a run. To me, like, the 1-year contract is what says to me, like, this. He's on his final legs of his career, and he kind of came in as a safety blanket in a way of like, okay, like if all things go sour this year, at least you're pulling in a guy that went to a cup final. But in terms of if he'll play again, I still think he does. Well, again, we don't know the injury. If this is his knee and something he's adding to it, that's not great. But I think he signed here a bonus heavy contract as well. And I think I still think he comes in and he'll play games at some point. I worry now about, okay, you're putting your faith into a young goalie that hasn't proven he can play in the NHL and a goalie who hasn't played very well in the NHL in the past couple of years. Like that's the biggest thing here. I'm going, okay, well, at least Freddie Andersen's coming off kind of a high in the playoffs. Now you're putting your faith into two guys that don't look great as of right now.
Couple interesting comments coming in on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Send yours in 780-218-9999. This comes in from Hugh Jazz. Jari had an 882 save and an 18-9-3 record.
Mm-hmm.
Andersen, 874 save percentage, 16-14-5 record last year. One is signed beyond this season and is younger. Give me the argument that Andersen should be the starter. Okay, we talked about this yesterday a bit. We touched on it, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's just what happened in the playoffs.
Right.
The Carolina Hurricanes do not win the Stanley Cup without Frederik Andersen.
He was the...
Now, Bussy came in.
Came in and
Andersen got hurt.
The job. Yes. I'm sorry, man. I can't write off his playoffs last year. I can't. Like that was... And
I'm sorry, 18-9-3 versus 16-14-5. Neither of those records are good enough.
No, those are both brutal.
So both of these players would have had to rebound.
Both are washed, man. Like, to me, like 882, 874, okay, both bad, both horrible. Okay, so what positives do you have on either side? One's younger versus the one that took his team to a Stanley Cup final. I'm taking the guy that took his team to a Stanley Cup final. Sorry, I am. Mm-hmm. I understand that Jari might be a better long-term guy, and I'm not necessarily saying that Jari, Freddie Andersen was going to be the game one starter. If it was Jari, I wouldn't have been surprised. I'm more saying if everyone's healthy and everything goes proper this season, Freddie Andersen to me was game one starter of the playoffs.
Interesting. Colin Ellerslie says, could this have been planned? Sign him, knowing he'll be LTIR all season, which we don't know. We don't know that. This is purely speculation by Colin Ellerslie. As a in-the-room proven winner to mentor / motivate the team.
I'd be shocked.
I listen. But then if you were to look back on it with that theory in mind, you'd say,
they had to have done some crazy editing on Oilers Plus because they showed a damn good chunk of what happened with that Freddie Andersen contract. They showed multiple different conversations that Stan and Bill. I think Bill Scott was heavily leading the Freddie Andersen signing. They were talking about the bonus structure and all that stuff, and it seemed like they had a belief that he was going to play a decent amount of games this year. I think the bonus structure was made for if he's able to stay healthy for an entire season. They know he was hurt. They know he's hurt. They know he's old. But I think they were trying to structure that so that if he does come in and he is healthy, that he gets paid what he's deserved, what's deserved for him.
Well, and you know what? We talked about it earlier. The 3 goaltender system is, how is that going to be split up anyways? Okay. Now, it's still probably going to be split up just the way we thought. It just might have a little bit less Frederick Anderson to start the season. Because I'm sorry, if you're not competing in training camp, you're not ready for the game one of the regular season.
I totally agree. And yeah, the fact that like, LTIR this whole year, there's no point. There's no point in doing it. That's just an extra guy you're throwing in there just to mentor the team.
Is Tristan Jarry, okay, last year's Tristan Jarry.
Yeah.
Is that good enough for this Oilers team?
Last year's?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Nowhere near.
Okay. Now, and this is where, Benny, we've been looking at each facet of the Oilers organization this week, and there's a lot of unknowns.
Yes.
There's a lot of wait and sees.
Yes.
And the whole Babcock effect, how that plays a role in what happens and what this team looks like this year, specifically defensively. Specifically with a defensive mentality and how that makes the goaltending look much better. I mean, ships rise together. It's not rocket science.
Yes.
Better defensive structure in your own end and more defensive thinking in the other end leads to better goaltending.
I don't necessarily believe all the blame is to go on to Tristan Jarry for that record and for that save percentage. I mean, his record's not that bad. It's more the defensive structure for sure. But Tristan Jarry did not give himself any favors. That to me, there was the direct, like you saw last year. You saw what a solid goalie plays for you in that system versus what a struggling goaltender does for you in that system. You saw it with Connor Ingram versus Tristan Jarry. There's a reason why they went with Connor Ingram, because he was just solid. He had days or some games where it's like, okay, wasn't his night. But for the most part, he made the saves. He should have let in the goals. He should have. And those numbers were still bad, right? Like you look at Connor Ingram's numbers last year and they were still tough. But I remember how like arguing with friends that were like not Oilers fans or out of market, and they're going, your guys' goaltending sucks. Connor Ingram is solid. Like he's not gonna win you a hockey game. He won't lose you a hockey game very often. Those like to me the floor for a solid goaltender should be what Connor Ingram's numbers were last year, which I'll take a look at because
Connor Ingram's still available.
He still is available. Like if the Oilers go get him, it's like okay. 32 games last year. He had an .899 save percentage. To me, he was solid.
Which is pretty much league average.
Yes. League average goaltending. So to me, in a better defensive system, and if you're playing to what Connor Ingram was last year, solid goaltending, you should be seeing above 900 save percentage. That's solid goaltending. The fact last year that we saw what the defensive structure was in Edmonton, and Tristan Jarry was an 8. What was that? Sorry, what was the number on that? 8.7. An 8.82. I'm sorry, man. I think that's like you saw what a solid goalie plays for you in that defensive system. You saw it right there with Connor Ingram. So I think next year, I'm looking for a save percentage above 900. And who knows? We'll see how much that changes with Mike Babcock. Like if it's that drastic of a difference defensively for this team. We'll break that down in buying or selling later with the whole defense, if it's improved or not. How will the system will help? But this goaltending situation is interesting. I want better numbers for Jarry there. I think all of us do. And I'm very curious to see what Devin Levi does.
Well, don't forget who's also injury prone. Tristan Jarry.
Yes, that too.
So
are we seeing Connor Unger and Devin Levi as the tandem at some point this season?
Who knows?
Oh, boy.
There is another professional team in Edmonton, believe it or not. That is the Edmonton Elks. And portion of this hour are brought to you by the Elks. Go to goelks.com/Labor Day Bus. That's goelks.com/Labor Day Bus. And you'll find all the information there. Monday, September 7th, Edmonton Sports Talk is hosting 2 Labor Day buses that are heading down number 2 to Calgary. It's $160 plus GST per ticket. So you get a ticket to the game, you get transport to and fro Calgary, 2 beverages on the way down, and a post-game pizza meal on the bus. If you use promo code EST Labor Day, that's EST Labor Day, you save $15 off that. So you get it for $145 plus GST with promo code EST Labor Day. All right, we've got to get out. We have a very special guest coming up right after the break. This is Basketball Alberta Hall of Fame inductee, 3-time national champion coach, 3-time national coach of the year, Golden Bears basketball legendary coach Don Horwood joins us here. But first, Brendan Eric.
Frederick Anderson, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederick and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers opened preseason September 19th against the Jets. Toronto was tied with Seattle and Minnesota, 3 games back of the final wild card spot, currently held by Cleveland. Both the Rangers and the Orioles are ahead of the Jays in that race. On the field, Spencer Miles takes the bump for the Birds, while Randy Dobnak for the Royals, with Game 2 of their set starting at 5:07. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported that the NFL will prohibit any players who return to the NCAA this season from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC will be penalizing coaches who bring in pros, the penalties include half a season suspension for a coach, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and the withdrawal of league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting at some point today. This sports update is brought to you by Say the Reid Sport Medicine. Carl McDavid has a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. At Say the Reid Sport Medicine, get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game. Call 780-460-9977 or visit their website at saythereidsportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Don Horwood. After the break, my name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Is the Oilers' window to win a Stanley Cup wide open, slightly closed, or closed?
I'm leaning closed.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be it's open until McDavid leaves. Figure out what's up there.
I think that was their chance. Do I think that this team is a great team, is an amazing team? No.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Back to school? Really?
Yay! Really. As things settle back into a school routine in your home, you may need extra space. Sentinel Storage is here to help with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including country music legend Lori Morgan, September 4th.
Except for Monday, which was
She's a Grammy nominee and a CMA Award winner with over a dozen top 10 hits.
part of no, don't you want?
Lori Morgan live at the River Cree September 4th. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Somewhere, someone is sitting on a patio that is literally part of the parking lot. They're hot, uncomfortable, and bored. Do not be that person. The Canadian Brewhouse has a rooftop, real turf, misters, fire tables, patio games, big screens, and zero reason to be bored. This summer, your standards are higher than a parking lot, and you know it. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget. Open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and Ben Thomson right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Immediate release from the Edmonton Oilers came out at 2:31 p.m. today. The Coles notes of this at that Alec Regula, Frederick Anderson, Matthias Janmark, and Matt Savoy will not be participating in training camp next month, which means to me that they will not be ready for game one of the regular season. Who knows what else that means? But we're going to wait. The Oilers did include in that press release that any further updates on each player's availability to return to action will be provided when appropriate. So we'll keep an eye on it. It's obviously drawn the ire of many an Oiler fan, including those people in the nasty chat, those people in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Send in your thoughts, 780-218-9999. A reminder, the wing flavor of the month is the Bourbon Peach at the Canadian Brew House. Turn up the heat this August at the Canadian Brew House with our wing flavor of the month, Bourbon Peach. Smooth bourbon, sweet peach, and roasted to a nice, tasty, charred flavor. Guess who's going to try some of these tonight, Ben? You. Me. I'm going to the Canadian Brew House tonight.
Heck yeah.
Wing Wednesday. Why wouldn't you? Drop everything, go to Canadian Brew House tonight, and try out their wing flavor of the month. That is the Bourbon Peach. All right, we've got to get to the voices of the game for Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. And with that, I'm pleased to be joined by Golden Bears basketball head coach from 1983 to 2009, 3 national champions, 6 Canada West titles, 3-time National Coach of the Year, and Basketball Alberta Hall of Fame inductee Don Horwood joins us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Don, how are you doing?
Basketball. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. I figured there would be something witty at the top of this. Thank you for taking time to join us. Now, it's my understanding you're obviously coming in for the gala this weekend, which is happening. It's August 29th at the Edmonton Expo Center. You're going to be in attendance, right?
Yes, very much so. Looking forward to it.
So did they roll the red carpet all the way out to Victoria? Like, how does that work?
I don't know if it was a red carpet. I think it had turned a different color by the time it got here. But yes, it works very nicely, and I'm looking forward to lots of friends in Edmonton, of course, and looking forward to seeing quite a few of them.
Yeah. So you currently reside in Victoria. What's keeping you busy these days, Don?
Well, I'm working my way up. I'm hoping to qualify for the Seniors Golf Tour next year.
Really?
I've only got about 40 strokes to go off my game, but I think if I keep working on it, I should be right in there.
You keep your head down, Don. I'm sure you'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, let's go back to the start here. As I said, I mean, you've got a decorated career at the University of Alberta. I know you were going to be joining by video. It didn't hurt, but we're just happy to have you. But I did wear I was a Golden Bear myself. I played football, so I wore my football golf shirt representing the green and gold proudly today as we have you on the show. But let's go back to your start. When did you develop a love or a desire for coaching basketball?
Oh my God, Jay, we don't have enough time for all that, but I'm actually a Newfie by.
Ah.
I came from Carbonear, Newfoundland. My son back there in Barndare in 1946 and moved out to Victoria in 1969.
And then you still have the voice. I can tell. That's good.
Well, I can bring it on whenever I needs it by. Sometimes it comes in handy there. Anyway, so I moved to Victoria because I wanted to be a basketball coach. And it's a long story to tell you about how the whole thing developed in Newfoundland, but I was involved with the program there, which was a very low-level program. Hardly anybody played basketball. That's the only reason why I made it on the team. And then I got a love for the game, and then I got a really strong love for coaching. And I taught for 1 year in Newfoundland and then looked around, and there was no internet in those days in 1968. And I had read an article that high school basketball in British Columbia was the best in the country. So I thought to myself, well, if I want to be a basketball coach, that's where I should go. So I wrote letters to 7 different school districts in BC, and the only one I heard from was Victoria. And they hired me over the phone in May of 1969 to move to drive across Canada in my 1968 Mustang.
Wow.
And teach here at Oak Bay High School. And I was replacing a guy who had coached there for years and was an icon of basketball in Victoria. And I took over from him and then had a lot of success at high school, and then thought I'd like to try myself at the university level, and ended up getting the job at U of A in 1983.
So then I'll ask.
And there you go.
So then I'll ask you, Don, about your trip to the U of A. We have an off-topic topic that we do every show here, where we today's topic is connections that you have made that come out for you later on in life, that help you out. The connections you made earlier in life. Was there a connection that you had that got you to the U of A coaching gig, or was that kind of a shot in the dark? How did that all happen?
Well, again, long story, but I had a bachelor's degree, and I knew in order to work at university level, I needed a master's degree, or I felt I needed a master's degree. I'm not sure you do anymore, but at the time. So I applied to the U of A to do my master's in 78, 79. So my wife and I and 2 little boys moved across the mountains, and I did my master's in 1978, 79, which is the 78, 79 year. And I applied for the job at that time because they were just hiring a new coach, and I didn't get the job. So I came back to Victoria and taught for another 4 years. And then the person who got the job, Brian Heaney, left for U of T, and the job came open again. And I had been assistant the year I was doing my master's, and I phoned the guy who is now the athletic director, Gary Smith, and asked him about the job. And he said, yeah, we were going to phone you to see if you'd apply. And so it went on from there. So Gary Smith was probably the connection I had. And he was the head coach when I was there. And then he became an athletic director when the job opened up. And so, yeah, there was a connection.
Wow. Gary Smith, that's he was on the alumni of the Football Association as well, I believe.
Yeah, he played football for the Bears, and he was an outstanding quarterback. I think he won the Vanier Cup with the Bears when he was a quarterback.
Yes.
But he told me at the time, he told me just a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact, because I was complaining about how he lowballed me in my salary. And he wrote back to me and he said, I didn't lowball you. He said it was a mercy hiring.
Well, I'm sure the 2 of you could chop it up pretty well. I've run into him a few times. That is a funny man.
He was way quicker brain-wise than I was.
Don Horwood, Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, Don Horwood, joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Look, you won the national championship 3 times, 1994, 1995, and 2002. Did you find, and you could pinpoint something and look at all 3 of those teams? I know one of them was back-to-back, but what similarities did those teams have that maybe suggested to you, I think I got something here?
Well, the first 2, in 94 and in 95, they were totally different. The first one was bizarre. We lost our 2 best players from the season before in September, before we even started our season. We lost our 6'8" center, who was going into his 5th and final year, and we lost our starting point guard. And that's in September. And I thought we were going to be able to compete for Canada West. When we lost those 2 guys, I thought, oh my God, we're not even going to make the playoffs. And then we end up winning nationals with that team. So that team had a kind of chemistry that would be really hard to describe. There's so many things that happened in that year, and for us to end up winning despite that is absolutely miraculous. There's things that most people don't know about because we had to, there's some personal things that we had to keep quiet about, but they were unbelievably well suited for each other chemistry wise, and the pieces fit together. The point guard was just the point guard we needed at that time. Our shooting guard was going into his third year. That was Greg DeVries, who is in the U of A Sports Hall of Fame. He was just going into his third year. He became our all-time leading scorer before Jordan Baker. And our front line of Murray Cunningham and Scott Martell and Peter Knechtel, and they were just coming into their own. They were third-year players, and they were just starting to be able to compete at that level. And they liked each other, and they got along really well. Then the 2002 team, probably the best team I've ever coached, we had tremendous talent on that team, absolutely tremendous talent. And I think we went something like 33-2 or something, or 33-1. But they were very easy to coach. We won every game by an average of 18 points per game. And we ended up winning the Nationals in a nail biter that Stephen Parker, who intercepted the pass when we were 2 up with less than 30 seconds to go. He intercepted the pass, took it the length of the floor, and dunked it for us to win the Nationals in 2002. So the teams were different, which, of course, you could say that about the Oilers. Every year they're different, right? As will happen again this year. So there's a lot of things that go on inside the ropes and inside the locker room, and some things you can't talk about, and some things you can. But they were all, and we had some other really good. We finished second 2 other times. One time we lost it in overtime, and that's a game we should have won. So we should have won 4. But anyway, those are those things from the past, and it's all part of life. So. It was a tremendous run for us. Let's put it that way.
Well, I do recall I was at the U of A during that 2002 season, and boy, that was a tremendous team. I played high school basketball against Phil Scher, Mike Melnichuk. Yeah. So, I mean, to have one of those guys, to have one of those guards on your team would be outstanding. To have both is just ridiculous, to be honest. But, I mean, it still takes that team to come together. And a name you mentioned earlier, and you'll know this answer right away, but what you mentioned Murray Cunningham and my quarterback when I played Golden Bears football with Daryl Salmon. Both of those players have something in common, that Murray Cunningham and Daryl Salmon both played football, both played basketball at the U of A. Is that common, or what did you see in a guy that played football and then could come out and try out, and you'd say, okay, get out of here, what are you doing? But you actually know this happened twice in your tenure.
Well, first of all, Daryl did try to play, but he didn't play with us. He started out to play for us, but it just became too difficult. Because after the football season, when he could come onto the team, I mean, we were, it was too late. And
right.
And he did try.
But he was good enough to play on that team.
Yes, he was. He was definitely good enough to play, no question. And Murray Cunningham, of course, had played 4 years. He'd won 2 national championships, and he's a big guy. And as a matter of fact, I think it was Coach Wilkinson who came to me and said, what would you think about Murray playing football? And I thought, well, I'm not overly keen because, that takes away our whole preseason. But Murray had played for 4 years, so he knew what we did. And so I thought, and I said to Tom at the time, I said, well, Tom, Murray's played with us for 4 years, so he knows all our systems and everything. So I think it would work. And if Murray wants to give it a go, I said, you got my blessing. So that's how that worked out.
Don Horwood joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show for Voices of the Game for Windsor Plywood Leduc. Is there a particular player or coach story? Because Don, I've followed you for a long time. I've heard you. You're an incredible storyteller. So please, the floor is yours. Player,
how much
coach.
Time do we have?
For you,
how much time do we have?
We can go as long as 10 minutes, Don.
Okay, well, this one might take this long. So my favorite story, and you're right, there's lots of them, some of which I can't talk about, but there's lots. This one I've talked about many times, and in fact, you may have heard of it because I've spoken to many different groups in and around Edmonton, and this is one story I always tell because it's a fabulous story. Anyway, it's called the Jay Johnstone story. Jay Johnstone grew up in Kelowna, British Columbia, played for the KSS Owls, and nobody recruited him out of high school. So he went to Caribou College. And the Caribou is now Thompson Rivers University. But at Caribou College, he played 2 years. Again, I'd never heard of Jay Johnstone. And the fact that he didn't get recruited by Simon Fraser, UBC, or U of Vic will give you an indication of where his talent was. So in the summer of 92, I got a call from Jay, and I didn't know him, never heard of him. And he phoned me and he said, Coach, he said, I just wanted to let you know I'm coming to the U of A and I'm going to try out for the Bears. And I just wanted to let you know ahead of time. So I said, Jay, that's great. It's awesome. It's great to hear from you. I can't promise you anything. I've never seen you play, but you're more than welcome to try out. We have open tryouts, Anyway, he came. He was going into his third year. He made the team. He was about a 6'3" shooting guard. And he made the team, and he played that year. And we had an okay year, not a great year, but we were probably a little over 500. And I realized that we had a really great shooting guard, Greg DeVries, and he needed more floor time. And we had a guy going into his final year who happens to be Dan Van Horn, who's now the coach of Calgary and is also being inducted into the Wall of Fame this weekend. Dan was in his fifth year. So at the end of Jay's third year, which was his first year at U of A, I had to make a decision. There wasn't enough playing time for 3 shooting guards. And you know what it's like as an athlete, when you're looking over your shoulder, if you make a mistake, there's somebody to take your place. You can't play free. So I made a decision to cut Jay. So after his third year, I cut him from the team. I sat him down. I explained to him the situation. I said, Jay, you're good enough to play on this team, but I have to make a decision to make sure I get playing time for guys that I think are going to be able to help us. And I said, if I have 3 or 4 shooting guards, there's not enough playing time to go around. So unfortunately, you've only got 2 years left, and I'm going to have to let you go. Anyway, so he was very polite. He shook my hand, thanked me, and he went out the door. And for that, now, as you know, as an ex-athlete, quite often an athlete who's cut in September will quit the university and walk away because there's so much embarrassment. And Jay didn't. He stayed. He was in the phys ed program.
Mm-hmm.
And before every game, Jay would come and sit behind our bench and cheer for the guys that he'd played with the year before. And he was always polite with me and always respectful, even though I'm sure in the back of his head he was saying, God damn it, that bloody guy did. Anyway, so Jay hung around and he was at university, did his year at university. And the next summer, he came to me in the office and he said, Coach, I'm thinking about trying out again for the team. Now, can you imagine that? A coach has cut you and you're going to come back in the summer and say, I'm thinking about trying out again. And he came in and he said, Coach, I'm thinking about trying out for the team. I found out subsequently that a couple of the guys had been playing rat ball with him and they kept bugging him, Jay, you got to try out. You got to try out. You got to go try out. So anyway, he tried out and he played so well, I couldn't cut him. He played so well that by Christmas when we had an injury, he was starting.
Oh, my. Wow.
He played so well that in March, he helped us win the first national championship and got a championship ring. He came back for his final year the next year, was a starter, and we won the nationals back-to-back, and he won his second national championship ring. And none of those schools, Simon Fraser, UVic, or UBC, that didn't bother to recruit him, had won any national championships in the meantime. So Jay walked off after being cut, being told he wasn't good enough, persevered, came back, and won 2 national championships. Now, that is a heartwarming story, in my opinion.
Wow. That's awesome. That is such a great example of perseverance, attitude, work ethic. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, and giving a coach another chance. You know, I mean, he could have easily blamed me and said, well, I'm not going there. You know, he won't give me a chance. He won't this. You know, I took that, for me personally, I just took that so positively that he was willing to give me another chance to give him a chance. So anyway, it worked out, obviously, needless to say. So I've told that story to many high school students and meetings and banquets that I've been at. The Jay Johnstone story is a great story of perseverance and hanging in there and getting rewarded. Now, that not everybody gets rewarded, but he did.
I got to admit, I have goosebumps hearing that, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Don, because it's, you know, for you to be talking about that, the first story you tell almost on the eve of you being inducted to the Alberta Basketball Hall of Fame, that story 30 years later speaks volumes of it. And yeah, it's a great lesson of, that Jay Johnstone. I mean, you could go so many different avenues with that in terms of trying to teach the younger generation lessons about perseverance and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. You could. Yeah.
Well, Don, this was great catching up. Congratulations. I mean, 3-time national championship, 3-time national coach of the year, albeit, I mean, those weren't even in the same decades, correct, Don? That you were national coach of the year?
No, 3 different decades. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that'll happen again. So, Don, congrats, all the accolades. Look, I know you're, and special thanks to your friend Murray. Was he not an assistant coach with you?
Murray was, as Murray used to like to say it, he was my details man. Murray was my, he rode shotgun for me, and he did. He was phenomenal.
Yeah,
a lot of the things we accomplished were because Murray Scambler was my assistant coach and details man. He did a fabulous job.
Well, he did a fabulous job here. He reached out to the right people. So credit to Murray for setting this up. We appreciate it. Don, all the best to you. Safe travels. Enjoy your weekend in Alberta.
Thank you, Jay. Great to talk to you, and all the best to you and to Reid when you see him.
Yes. Well, I'm sure he's listening. He's away, but he's still here. So I told him especially that you'd be on today because I know you and him have quite the history as well. But thanks a lot, Don.
Yeah. Thank you. All the best.
All right. That was Don Horwood, Basketball Alberta Hall of Fame inductee, joining us for Voices of the Game for Windsor Plywood Leduc. Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Fantastic storyteller. Awesome. And if you haven't yet, you could check out the gala that's happening this Saturday, August 29th at the Edmonton Expo Center. That's the Alberta Basketball Hall of Fame gala. He will be inducted I think there's 50 people being inducted. So it's going to be quite a night, but we've got to get out. We're late into the break. Coming up next, we've got Jay's Play of the Day, quick version Oil Understood, and then we're going to get into some NFL discussion with Tim Twentyman from the Detroit Lions.
The Lock Shop.
A blind squirrel finds a nut. Vladdy's just a blind squirrel walking around starving for a year. Hasn't bumped into a nut accidentally, not even once. And it's incredible because even if he had 7 at home, they're probably a playoff team right now. It's ridiculous.
Compounding the lack of power and pop off the bat, then you have something like last night with a feeling error.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Looking for a delicious meal without the hassle? Head to Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the game day meal. From handcrafted fresh pasta with rich homemade sauces to ready-to-heat family meals, Pasta Pantry brings authentic Italian flavor straight to your table. For over 30 years, Pasta Pantry has served hot, delicious comfort food made right in our kitchen. We do it fast so you can slow down. Visit Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park today and taste the difference fresh makes. Pasta Pantry, real food, real fast, real good.
The second half is yours. Bring the energy and walk in your seat with our new 5-game season pass, because the best way to experience Elks football is being there when it happens. For every tackle, every catch, every touchdown. Plus, every pass comes with a $25 voucher, so you're covered before you even take your seat. Half season, full energy. Get your season pass at goelks.com. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean?
For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Frederick Anderson, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederick and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers open the preseason September 19th against the Jets. Toronto is tied with Seattle and Minnesota, currently 3 games back at the final wildcard spot. That's held by Cleveland. Both the Rangers and the Orioles are ahead of the Jays in that race. On the field, Spencer Miles takes the bump for the Birds, while Randy Dobnak for the Royals, with Game 2 of their set starting at 5:07. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported that the NFL will prohibit any players who return to the NCAA this season from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC will be penalizing coaches who bring in pros, penalties include half a season suspension, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting or after a meeting at some point today. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Boy, we've had a packed show. It was great to hear from Don Horwood, a legendary Golden Bears basketball men's basketball head coach, being inducted into the Alberta Basketball Hall of Fame. Now, let me just look. Who else was inducted in for coaches? I mean, they've been rolling this out
all summer.
Since
all summer long.
Let's see here. Yeah, so for the coaches, Phil Allen, Trix Baker, Scott Edwards, Don Horwood, Jack Kenyon, Rob Poole, Donna Rudikas, Wayne Thomas, Dan Van Horn, and Dave Youngs. Just an incredible group of when you think of Alberta basketball, you certainly think of those names. So that's incredible. It's happening at the Expo Center Saturday night. 50 people are going to be are inducted into this is the first class.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big deal. All right, let's get to Jay's Play of the Day, which is brought to you by our good friends over at Play Alberta. When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 years of age to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's Jay, it's Play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
All right. Well, I put together something here that I wanted to stay away from the Blue Jays game. I'm taking a break from that. I think I'm bad juju for that team right now. Everything I touched just goes the opposite way. So I've had good luck with CFL. I've been doing okay with CFL. I've been trying to do the spreads, but But I thought I have a good feel about this week's upcoming schedule. Okay, so I have the Alouettes to win. Okay, of course, the Alouettes, this is Friday night's game, are in Winnipeg. Okay, I don't know if anybody's going to touch Montreal.
Nope.
Calgary is hosting Hamilton. They are believed to be without starting quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. Not 100%, but that is the belief. Davis Mills is returning. So that is a key factor, and that defense is going to chase Trey Ford all around the field, which I get. He's comfortable with, but at some point that runs out. I think Saskatchewan's going to handle business against Toronto at home, and then BC, I think, is going to shellac Ottawa.
So this is a
four-gamer money liner. No spreads, no nothing. Just these teams have to win. Montreal, Calgary, Saskatchewan, and BC all to win on the money line. Boosted to plus 281, Benny.
Montreal, Calgary,
Saskatchewan,
BC.
and BC.
I like it.
All to win. And go to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on ESC specials. You'll see Jay's play of the day there. And always remember to use your game sense. All right, we got to get into the oil understood for GCL Diesel, brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. And now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show, GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Let us, as Cam always says from GCL Diesel, let us inspect your injector.
Inspect my injector.
Yes. Let us charge your turbo.
I love it.
That's all they say to each other in that office. Hey, you need an inspection on your injector? That's all they say. All right. We're going to dive back into the news of the day, which was, of course, a statement coming out of Edmonton Oilers in regards to training camp. Matthias Janmark, Alec Regula continue to recover from medical procedures performed last season and shortly after the season concluded, respectively. So that means Regula had a medical procedure after the season?
Yeah.
What was he waiting for?
Well, he wanted to give his best chance at making the NHL this year, which he started the year with the team. And I thought he looked really good in camp, looked really good in the first couple of games, and then it kind of fell apart. Then he got hurt. Then he got concussion. Vander Kane knocked that dude out. Or not knocked him out, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a heavy hit.
Heavy hit.
Hellacious.
Kept him out. Came back, wasn't the same. So I think he's trying to play through a knee injury. He's trying to make that team and doesn't get there. But who knows? It's like, okay, guys get hurt in the playoffs. Maybe he gets the call. Doesn't happen. Gets a procedure when the season's done. That's what I think happened.
Okay, and added to that, Matt Savoy and Frederick Anderson are currently rehabilitating injuries which occurred during offseason training sessions, and they are not expected to participate in training camp next month, which means they're not going to be ready for the regular season. Now, we can speculate all we want, but until in the coming weeks, we'll suss this out and more information will come out as to the longevity of these injuries, the seriousness of these injuries. But you're under the belief that this is not too big of an issue?
I don't think it's that serious.
I would say so with Savoy. I could see that. Okay, maybe tweak something. They're just wanting to take it easy.
Yeah.
Does he have to prove anything?
No,
not
really.
Not
like for like roster position necessarily.
No, he's on the team.
He's on the team,
right? Okay, so look, let's save you for when it's important.
Mm-hmm.
The one with Frederick Anderson does concern me.
Yeah. I'm like, because you don't think you'd want to be signing a guy like that if you didn't believe he was at least in a spot where he'd be starting the season. But I don't know. This could totally be a different injury with him. He's old. He's got a build of a goaltender that, like, you know, when he has knee injuries, like, it's tough on him to recover from those. It doesn't seem like it's going away. And ultimately, that's why they brought this 3 goalie system in. Is for cases like these. You wish that this would have happened later on in the season, where you know what you have in Devin Levi and Tristan Jarry. Instead, with all the question marks here we have here in Edmonton, we're adding that the question mark just got a little bit bigger. I think in net with what happens now. Unnecessarily.
When least needed.
This is supposed to be a dead time, okay? Isn't supposed. We're not supposed to be reading too much into it, but now this is just. Of course, this is what happens here. But again, though, I think there's a good opportunity here for Tristan Jarry and Devin Levi. They're going to get their chance here to at least start the season. We'll see ultimately how long that injury is, but I feel like if they knew it was long term, they would have said that. I think personally.
All right, this was the oil understood for GCL Diesel. If you are watching us on YouTube, please hammer that thumbs up. Hey, look, we're not even halfway through the show, and we're halfway at the thumbs allotted. We need 100 thumbs. That's what we aspire to get. We haven't got there yet.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Come on.
What are you waiting for? Let's do it. Let's get to 100 because we're going to go around the NFL. Our NFL kickoff continues. We're going to be joined by Tim Twentyman of I Am Live, Detroit Lions beat reporter, right after the break. And then further down in the hour, we're going to have Tom Thayer, former Chicago Bear, played with the Chicago Bears, decided not to perform the Super Bowl shuffle. He's told a great story about it last time he was on, but he's going to get us up to speed on what's going on with the Chicago Bears in that training camp. But first, we need to hear from Brendan Eric, the man with 2 first names.
Frederick Anderson, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederick and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers open preseason September 19th against the Jets. Toronto is tied with Seattle and Minnesota, 3 games back for the final wild card spot, currently held by Cleveland. Both the Rangers and the Orioles are ahead of the Jays in that race. On the field, Spencer Miles takes the bump for the Birds, while Randy Dobnak for KC, with Game 2 set for 5:07 this afternoon. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported the NFL will prohibit any players who return to the NCAA this season from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC will be penalizing coaches who bring in pros, the penalties include half a season suspension, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting at some point today. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area for over 30 years. Windsor Plywood has doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Get to talk some Lions after the break. My name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Marshall Ferguson, CFL on TSN.
I mean, heck, guys, I was covering the Philpott Bowl last week. During the pregame introductions, they're like, number 85, Jalen Philpott, and the crowd popped. Like, with my headset on, and I took my headset off, I'm like, oh my God, did they just actually, like, lose their minds in a pregame introduction? That never happens in the CFL. So, homegrown heroes, to me, the Alouettes have probably got 2 of the top 5 when it comes to Tyson and Davis Alexander right now. It's just the reality.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Celebrate 50 years of the Toronto Blue Jays with Sentinel Storage. Enter for your chance to win the ultimate Jays collection of memorabilia. Visit bluejays.com/Sentinel Storage contest to enter and see full contest rules. Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest co-host Ben Thomson, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. A reminder, Reid Wilkins, the namesake of this show, is off this week, but he will make his triumphant return Monday, August 31st. That also happens to be the same day my children are off to school. Ben, are your children off to school that day?
Oh, yeah, my 3 little boys and my 7 girls are off to school that day.
Are you now I know you're obviously not at that stage of your life.
Correct.
Are you is that something you aspire to be as a dad?
Yeah.
Father?
No, for sure.
It's not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody. No, I definitely want to be a dad.
I'm not here to shame anyone that's not. I mean, it's a big decision.
No, I want.
You are then responsible for the life of someone's life.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah.
I've always said to those that would listen that life never started until you had children.
Yeah, that's always what people say. My dad, like, I don't know. I've asked my dad about it. Probably.
That's how I've always told you. Don't be such a jerk to your dad.
Yeah, no, I know. But he's just as much of a jerk to me. We give it to each other. It's all good.
You give and take. So yeah. We've been going around the NFL this week. We're trying to connect with Tim Twentyman from DetroitLions.com. Obviously covers the Detroit Lions. Going to find out what's going on there. Your fandom, it's still up for grabs?
I'm a free agent.
You're an FA.
I'm a unrestricted free agent of a fandom of my fandom towards an NFL team. I have leading favorites. You know, I got my Bills that I've heavily debated on going to. The Bengals have always been a team that I've been really entertained by. Packers, because of my dad connection there.
Can you imagine if Tim Twentyman from DetroitLions.com
I like Detroit,
convinces
man.
you to become a Detroit Lions fan?
I do really like Detroit. I do. I like their whole kind of vibe there.
All right, well, we'll get to the bottom of this. And with that, we're going to be pleased to be joined by Tim Twentyman of DetroitLions.com. Tim, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very good. Thank you for taking time to join us. Look, I'm going to go a little bit behind the scenes here. I hope you don't mind. I reached out to you yesterday, and you were taking part in a pretty cool experience of your own with your child. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I was. My wife and I were taking my 18-year-old son, our only child, to college, freshman year, Michigan State University. Wow. So Always an exciting time, but always, one with a little trepidation as well. We are 46 years old and empty nesters now for the first time, which is pretty young, but excited for him. Awesome memories he's going to make the next 4 years, but it was eerily quiet in our household last night without our son here. So parents with kids, most of them get to go through that, and it was fun yesterday.
Well, yeah, I can imagine exciting but somewhat sad day as well. Go Spartans! I mean, you have that. Tom Izzo, right? I mean, what was the decision there? Was it anything to do with sports, or was it just that was a school that had the programs that your son wanted to be in?
Part of it was a little bit of sports. He's got his football tickets. He's got his hockey tickets. He played at hockey all through high school. He was the captain of the varsity hockey team. Nice. Here, so he's big into hockey, and so he's got his basketball tickets and is on the football tickets, which kicks off I think next weekend. So he is excited about that, but he wants to do sports management, and communications, and so they've got a good program over there. So kind of fit both with what he wanted to do sports wise, and the mom and I love that it's about an hour and 20 minutes from our house. So he's far enough away, but he's not too far. He can come home. So that's
just far enough. Exactly. Well, and he's got a dad that has some connections too. So that's not going to hurt. This is Tim Twentyman from at M Live, Detroit Lions. DetroitLions.com joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Last year, disappointing season, right? 9-8. The defense, I would say, definitely played a role in that record. How has that defense looked at camp? Have they got things back in order? Or things looking up?
Yeah, certainly last year with the injuries, some of the injuries definitely, and especially in the secondary, it was, two of the best safeties, safety duos in the league. That's going to affect you. So injuries were part of that on defense. But, this year, I think the big story in training camp has been the front seven, and particularly the play of the defensive line. Guys, Aiden Hutchinson was the number 2 overall pick in 2020. So, he's been here for 4 training camps, and he's an all-pro player, right? We all know he's one of the best. But this is the absolute most dominant camp I have seen him have. I mean, he has been a problem every single day. And I'm not talking about him on the right side against the rookie Blake Miller. I'm talking about him against Penny Sewell, one of the best tackles in football. And so that's an iron sharpens iron matchup that we have fun watching every day. But Aiden has been terrific, and they've always been kind of looking for that guy opposite Aiden, right? Well, they selected Derek Moore in the second round. He's had a pretty nice camp. And the veteran DJ Wanham, who had a couple 8-sack seasons with Minnesota, he was brought in. He fits what they want to do in terms of length. And look, you get to see all those one-on-one matchups opposite Aiden Hutchinson, right? And so those guys have benefited from that. And the Lions think they're much deeper, more talented on the edge. And then inside, they've got a collection of guys that can do a lot of different things. Tyleek Williams, their first-round pick last year, he's moved to the nose tackle, and that seems to fit him. Ali McNeil's been really good. So they like what they're seeing from their defensive line and their front seven, particularly on defense in camp.
Tim, how has Dan Campbell evolved as a head coach? I mean, specifically when it comes to game management and situational football.
Well, they work situations a ton, in practice, more than I've seen of any previous coach, and look, Dan's an aggressive guy. And I think maybe that's where he's evolved a little bit. He's still going to be aggressive, and he's going to go for it on fourth down and, the game management stuff. Some would say, game management, you punt here, you play defense. So he's an aggressive football coach. Maybe we see a little bit less of that in certain situations. I think maybe toward the end of the year, he evolved a little bit in that way, but he's still going to be, Dan Campbell. He's still going to be aggressive. It's going to be a physical football team that wants to take it to teams and end the game on the knee. So that he hasn't gone for it a ton on the fourth down. So maybe that's an area we see him getting a little bit less aggressive.
Tim Twentyman joining us talking about the Detroit Lions here on the Oil Country Towing Hotline. Tim, last year and for a couple of years, your guys' the running back room was interesting and very entertaining to watch with Jahmyr Gibbs, but also David Montgomery. David Montgomery's not there anymore. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs, fantastic running back, and I'm sure he can take on that new workload that he will have. But what's the dynamic now with the running backs there in Detroit?
Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco started his career in Kansas City. Was a big back over there in those Super Bowl wins in Kansas City. He signed in free agency, so he's the number 2 guy. But really, it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, and Dan Campbell has used the term bell cow this offseason with Jahmyr Gibbs. He's a player they want to get the ball in his hands as much as they can, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's 70% of the time. But Isaiah Pacheco is here, a veteran guy who's been in this league, who's had some success and knows how to win. He's your backup heading into the season. He's dealt with a little bit of an MCL sprain, missed some time in camp, but they think he'll be back. They hope close to week 1, if not early in the season. But it's going to be Gibbs' show, and I think one area you're going to really see him a lot more than you have in the past, even though he did have 66 receptions last year. In Drew Petting's office, they've been putting him in the slot. I saw him out wide once. He's been a big part of the passing game, and I think that's something that they really want to explore in Detroit and add even more than they did last year when he had 66 catches and 600 yards. So it's still good production, but I could see those numbers be even better this year.
And then I'll ask you about the quarterback room there with Jared Goff. He's 31 years old this year, and he's a guy that maybe isn't a world beater in terms of other quarterbacks. He's not one of the star-studded guys, but I think when you look at that team, it seems like they have a lot of belief there. Can you just tell us a little bit of insight of what's going on in that quarterback room and how much Jared Goff means to that Detroit Lions club?
Yeah, he means everything to that offense. I mean, there's not a defense that can throw something at Jared Goff that he hasn't seen in this league, whether it's a blitz, a coverage, whatever. He's seen it all. That's really the maturation of that quarterback position. When you get to be his age, now you're in the prime of that. And look, he doesn't make a ton of plays with his legs, and that's sometimes what's flashy and makes headlines. But look, he was top 2 in the league in yards. He was top 3 in completion percentage. He was top 5 in quarterback rating. I mean, all the metrics that we use to talk about really good quarterback play in this league, he's top 5 in the league in just about every single category. And so, he's a veteran guy who sees the field, who knows the offense, who can run the show, who gets them into good plays when they're in bad ones. And that's why he just kind of fits everything that Dan Campbell and his team is about.
Well, one of those targets, and his primary target is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, what can you say about last year? But is it expected? Like okay, selfishly, Tim, I'm going to tell you, I drafted him in my fantasy.
You drafted him.
Okay.
No, I knew this is where
cards
this is going.
on the table. I'm showing you my cards, brother.
You got a little early draft there.
Yeah.
A little early.
Very early draft, but, and guess who I drafted the same day? We did I'm meandering here. Forgive me, but we did our draft on Sunday, Tim, and I drafted. It's a super flex, so two quarterback league. So quarterbacks go early. It's a 14-team league. This is our 18th year. It's been around a long time. I drafted Ashton Genty. I won last year, so I drafted 14th. And
that was your scare.
Literally 3 hours later, all that news came out of training camp, and so it was a bit.
Yep, I know how that goes.
Yeah, it was a bit interesting. But I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown right after him. So I mean, look, 1,400 yards. Is it belief that the ceiling is still higher for this player?
I think he's an all-pro player. I mean, what you're going to get from Amon-Ra St. Brown is you're going to get at least 100 catches, right around 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. I mean, just mark it in. Pencil it in right now. Let the season starts, barring injury, of course. But that's what you're going to get from him. He is the security blanket for Jared Goff. When it's third down, we talked about fourth down earlier. We got to get it play, right? We need this first down in the fourth quarter on third down to seal the game and take a knee. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's the guy that Jared Goff looks to. He's got more catches through his first 5 seasons in the NFL than any player in NFL history. And so, look, he's reliable. He's durable. And he is just a guy that you look for when you need a key play. And so that's usually going to be about 7, 8, 9, 10 times a game. And if you throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown that much, you're going to catch 8 or 9 of them. So he is, I think, one of the most sure bets in fantasy, as long as he stays healthy, of getting you 100 catches, 1,100 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Tim Twentyman joining us here. from DetroitLions.com. Look, one more question for you. Well, actually, I got one, and then Benny's got one. He's fighting for everybody's fandom here, so you need to sell him on why it's Detroit. But before we get to that, look, last year in the NFC North, that was very, I would say, unexpected around the league. I'm not sure many people saw the Detroit Lions finishing last in that conference, in that division. If you were to make a prediction right now, how far does this Lions team go, and what makes you confident in that prediction?
I think this is one of the deepest and really most talented when you look at, all the lists of the, top, who's got the most top 10 players at every position or whatever all those lists are. You look at just the raw talent that this team has, and then the veteran depth that they went and got. And look, this team has gotten zero injury luck the last 2 seasons. When they were 15-2 and, things fell apart and they were playing guys who they had just signed on, Monday in games. It was bad. And so they're hoping for a little injury luck. That's one. And if they do, they have top end talent and they have depth. And this is, I think, the deepest, probably most talented team I've seen going into a week one in the 15 years that I've been there. And so, look, injuries can change everything. But I think Dan Campbell, I think, feels the same way that this is a team that should get back to playing more like we saw in 2023 and 2024. And if they don't, it would be very disappointing in Detroit.
And then, Tim, I'll wrap it up here with you on. So I'll let you into my fandom stories here. So I started off as a Miami Dolphins fan, and this was like 3 years ago. I started as a fan of them because I was watching games with my buddy, and I just wanted to root with him. I have no personal ties to the Miami Dolphins. And then how it all blew up there, I decided to leave fandom. Okay. I get my one trade to me of leaving a fandom. And so I left them after 2 years of being fan. Last year, I was a free agent. This year, I'm heading into the season. I am still a free agent, but I am taking offers. So I just want to hear, Tim, if you had to sell.
I'm supposed to sell you. I'm supposed to sell you on this.
I'm just wondering, what's the selling point here? What if you had to convince someone to become a fan of the Detroit Lions? What would you say?
Ooh, it's actually a really good question, and I think just look at what this team has done and what this fan base has done over the last. Since this run really started, the end of 22, in 23, obviously when they went to the NFC Championship game, is they've taken over visiting stadiums. Ford Field has become one of the most difficult places to play in the NFL. It's one of the loudest. That game against the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford, that first playoff game, the entire stadium was in their seat an hour before the game, and it was louder than I can ever remember it in that stadium. An hour before the game. It's a passionate fan base, and I think if anything else, if I'm a fan, I'd love to be around like-minded fans and passionate fans. The Detroit Lions fans are one of the most loyal and one of the most passionate fan bases. They will take over opposing team stadiums. We saw it last year, the last few years. It's a great bunch, and that would probably be my biggest selling point.
Well,
that's good.
You sold it. That was pretty good, Tim, I got to say. This is Tim Twentyman of DetroitLions.com. Obviously, DetroitLions.com is where they can find you. But, Tim, there is a lot of, well, I'll fill you in. And you've been on the show, on the Nielsen Show, the morning show here with our boss, Dustin Nielsen. He's a Lions guy, and there's plenty others of them in Edmonton. So where can people follow you if they want all the inside information?
Yeah, certainly. You can follow me on X at T20Man. And then I do a podcast, 20Man The Huddle, every week during the regular season, get an opposing beat writer, a player on there, one of our beat guys to kind of break everything down and tell you about the matchup. And that can be found anywhere you can find your podcast. So those would probably be the quickest and most popular ways to find me.
Right on. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again, Tim.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, that was Tim Twentyman of DetroitLions.com joining us on the Oil Country Towing Hotline, trying to sell Benny on the Detroit Lions, as is Big Uke in the chat, as I'm sure Dustin Nielsen. Well, Dustin might not want you.
Yeah,
he might say piss
I don't know.
off, man.
Yeah, he totally could. I mean, I like Jameer Gibbs. I like Amon-Ra. What?
Oh, you like front runners? Okay, good.
I like
That's
guys.
Good to know. No, it's good to know.
That are,
Ben, it's human nature. Nobody likes a sucky team.
No,
or
of course,
something.
of course.
You want to cheer for good players, so don't feel bad. I'm blessed to have a quarterback named Jaden Daniels. I mean, come on. Terry McLaurin? Come on.
Did you give it 4 seconds of pause there?
Stephon Diggs?
To give respect
I mean,
for
let's
Jaden
go.
Daniels?
Jaden Daniels. You watch what you're saying about Jaden
Daniels. Like what? I'm what?
What?
He's a prima donna.
What?
I finished quarterback, man.
A prima donna? He's one of the most humble athletes out there.
Right. Which is why which is why number 5 needs to be retired over at LSU. Yeah.
Oh my
He wants the same treatment Joe Burrow got with differences. There's one guy that won a national title.
Oh my!
The other guy didn't. Hey, listen, I said this on the hangout. I don't think this is a Jaden Daniels led thing. I think this is his mom. I think his mom is going in his ear going.
His mom's intense.
You need your respect over at LSU, and he's going. All right, sure, whatever. And it's turned into a big meme.
Well, I don't blame you for having that. His mom scared me. I mean, she was on quarterback. She was on quarterback almost as much as him.
She is scary.
All right, we've got to get out. We've got buying or selling coming up for Damon Bunting Real Estate. We're going to be talking about the Oilers' defense. Better, the same, or worse? You hit us up in the Nasty Chat or the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. And if you haven't yet, hammer that thumbs up. Let's try to get to 100 thumbs. But first, the man with 2 first names and a Blue Jays hat, Brendan Eric.
Frederik Andersen, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederik and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers opened preseason September 19th against the Jets. Toronto is tied with Seattle and Minnesota, 3 games back of the final wildcard spot currently held by the Guardians. Both the Rangers and the Orioles are ahead of the Jays in that race. On the field, Spencer Miles takes the bump for the Birds. Randy Dobnak for KC. Game 2 is set to start in about half an hour at 5:07. While ESPN has reported that the NFL will prohibit any players who return to the NCAA this season from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC is penalizing coaches who bring in pros. The penalties include half a season suspension, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting at some point today. This sports update is brought to you by The Ranch. The Ranch Golf Club delivers premier conditions, top-notch service, and unmatched value every round. That's why they're Alberta's top choice for corporate golf events. Visit theranchgolf.com to book a tee time today. Buying or selling after the commercials. My name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Ricardo O'Donnell was on. Every single player has said, in their own way, but nearly the same thing, the same sentiment that like this team is not only good on the field, but they connect with each other off the field, which can help a lot.
When your teammates are also your friends and you really care for their success as much as yours, it brings more heart and more motivation to win.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Wednesdays just got saucier at Mr. Mike's. It's Wing Wednesday, every Wednesday from 4 p.m. till close. Get 10 wings for just $10 or go big with the Wings and Frings platter for $19.98. Wash it all down with $7 steins of Antler Ale or Bighorn Lager because wings were never meant to fly solo. Add fries, onion rings, or lodge chips for $4.99 because wings deserve a wingman. Great wings, cold beer, Wednesdays done right. Dine in only at participating Mr. Mike's locations. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The second half is yours. Bring the energy and lock in your seat with our new 5-game season pass, because the best way to experience Elks football is being there when it happens. For every tackle, every catch, every touchdown. Plus, every pass comes with a $25 voucher, so you're covered before you even take your seat. Half season, full energy. Get your season pass at goelks.com. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest co-host Ben Thomson. Right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We had Tim Twentyman on from the DetroitLions.com, letting us know that I think he thinks that this defense is ready to roll again. Mm-hmm. That was one of the biggest setbacks that the Detroit Lions had to deal with. Injuries, of course, related, but it just was, that was a weird season for Detroit Lions fans, finishing 9-8, bottom of the NFC North. Who would have thought?
Right.
I mean, that's a competitive division, though.
Yeah,
that is a very, very competitive division. I am saying this right now, and we're going to have Tom Thayer on tomorrow now. Okay, that's former Chicago Bear. Their plane left about an hour late. They're traveling as a team down to Tennessee. So just stuff happens. He's going to join us tomorrow, and I want to see how confident he is that the Chicago Bears can repeat. I heard Hustler on the Lock Shop. He is very bullish on the Bears.
Really?
I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm not. I don't know if I just don't know if Caleb Williams aside, they won. I'll have to find the stat and ask it to Tom. But a lot of their victories last year were in very close games. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, the Elks are doing that in the CFL. They're winning close games. Yep. But that's with a veteran quarterback. That's with a polished offensive line. I'm not sure that Chicago has the capability of doing that.
You're not there.
So we'll get into that tomorrow with Tom Thayer. But right now, we're going to get into buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or the Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. As you all know, we've been going around the Oilers. We've been checking into the Oilers. We did the coaching. We just did goaltending. And today we've stumbled upon defensemen. It's a good thing we did goaltending yesterday before this announcement came out. For those of you that haven't heard yet, I know people join the show at different points of the day. The Oilers had this news release earlier today that Matthias Janmark, Matt Savoy, Alex Regula, and Frederick Anderson are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Now, Janmark, shoulder surgery, Regula, believed to be a knee surgery or some sort of knee procedure. That wasn't really a surprise or wouldn't be a surprise. Frederick Anderson and Matt Savoy make you different. Make your,
yeah, what?
Make you want to go, Things that make you go, You know what song that is?
No.
Is it or Things that make you go,
No clue.
I don't know if that's... It's too bad Buttermilk Syrup's not in the chat. She's a fan of that kind of music. I don't know if it's CNC Music Factory. Anyways, I got to move on from this topic. Okay, Benny, defensively. Are the Oilers better, worse, or too close to tell / even?
So wait and see. I mean, there's the subtraction of Darnell Nurse, who some people will argue is like a horrible defenseman and it's just a negative to a team. And then some people will say, no, he's a solid defenseman. And I more side with the fact that he's a number 4 or 5 D-man. Like, he has a role in the team. I think he can do that properly. It just he was thrusted into a certain role. I think a fresh start will help him in San Jose, although they're going to play him top pair minutes, which will be interesting. We'll see how that goes. But you bring in Ryan Shea, who to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about. He's had one really good year in the NHL at 29 years old. He was, I think, plus 30, or he was within like top 10 in terms of like defenseman with a plus 30 rating and 30 points or some stat like that. He's really panned out, man. It took him a while, but he's gotten himself to a point where he played 80 games last year. Yeah, it was plus 30, 35 points. So we'll see. Like, I don't really know what to expect from him. Like, he's going to be slotted in a third pair role, which I think is suitable. Bringing up Connor Murphy was big for this team. I think that was huge. He comes in at the trade deadline, and I thought played his role very well. Just you knew what you were getting from him. Just solid shutdown defenseman. He's not going to put up a ton of points, but he's paired with Jake Wallman, who to me that's the biggest X factor on this defense this year. Jake Wallman, a guy who also has his history with injuries, slotted on the second pair right now, and a disappointing year for him last year.
Sure,
when he was playing, was not himself. Did not look like the defenseman they signed in the offseason, where I remember the playoff before, where I thought he was incredible. Stepped in for when Ekholm was hurt in the playoffs, and I thought he was really, really took on the role of a top 4 defenseman and did it really, really well. So if you can get close to that Jake Wallman, then I think the Oilers are in a really good spot defensively. But we'll see. To me, he's the biggest X factor. Like, if he can figure his game out here a little bit, bounce back from the year he had last year, that's a huge add to this team because Matthias Ekholm is aging. And I don't expect Matthias Ekholm to put up 50 points this year and be that solid, like be that incredible top pair guy anymore. Like, he's gonna play top pair minutes, but Father Time's catching up to him a little bit. So I think I would love to see Jake Wallman kind of step in and see if Ekholm does need to come down the lineup, Wallman can step in and be the guy to fill in for him. But I have my doubts about that. So we'll see. I mean, this defense is interesting. It's a little bit different than when was starting last year. Like, the Oilers did not have Jake Wallman start the season. They didn't have Jake Wallman or Zach Hyman to start the season last year. So, hey, I mean, if we're talking about injuries to start the year, Oilers were in a worse spot.
How important do you think it is that Wallman's starting on his side? Like, on his left, like,
on his left side?
He was a player that was bounced around.
Yeah.
Because it was said, Jake Wallman can play the right side as well. Now he's got a true blue defenseman with that's playing the right side. Yeah. Jake Wallman can. Do you think he can settle into that left side spot and calm his game down? Because last year, you're right. I mean, if you look at his career, he was off his points total. I mean, he finished with 20 points, career high 40 points. You had in between Detroit and San Jose, minus 17. That was the worst he'd been.
Right.
So can Jake Wallman settle down? Can Jake Wallman calm down? Because a 7x7 player, that's
a good amount of money, man. Like, that's a top 4 defenseman being paid right there. That's
where they have him slotted. But does having the positional accuracy and having a player like Connor Murphy beside him, because we saw what Connor Murphy did with Darnell Nurse.
Yep.
Right?
Calmed him down.
A lot.
That was some of the best hockey Darnell has played in a while.
I think Connor Murphy can bring that to Jake Wallman and for the Oilers' sake, they better see a better version of Jake Wallman this year because last year's version just won't cut it.
I think, yes, of course, the position helps. Him playing his left side definitely helps, but to me, it's the personnel that he's with. I think Connor Murphy being there for him is huge. One of my biggest problems that I had with the Oilers' top four defensively before Connor Murphy came here to Edmonton was the fact that three of their top four defensemen were problematic defensemen. They were defensemen that were prone to making big mistakes. Evan Bouchard, Jake Wallman, Darnell Nurse were all prone to making big mistakes. Evan Bouchard did a much better job at making up for those mistakes with his offensive upside and his playmaking ability and his breakout first pass ability.
So you think it's a more stable core?
Yes. Swapping out Connor Murphy for Darnell Nurse has made this D-core more stable. And I think with especially Jake Wallman, if he comes back healthy, if he comes back with a better state of mind, because even the playoffs, man, like games 1 and 2, I remember Jake Wallman going, I'm like, that's the defenseman the Oilers have been looking for. It reminded me so much of a guy that that was kind of sleepwalking through the regular season.
Sure.
And that was the biggest thing last year with this team is this team did not want to play through another regular season again. Like that, you saw that with this team. Like McDavid even referred to it in interviews and all that stuff. It was just like, okay, can we just get to the playoffs? It's because they played a ton of hockey. Mm-hmm. They've gone through so much hockey. They've gone to the highest stakes, and then you're playing in Seattle in November. You know what I mean? Like there's differences there. So I think for them, it's nice that they get the rest and they get the hunger back. And that's what I relate that to Jake Wallman. Yes, he was hurt, but in the regular season when he was healthy, wasn't the same guy. And then playoffs comes around and you go, okay, that's one of the guys that woke up. So I hope that this rest helps him. I hope that there's a new vibe around the team this year where it's like, hey, no, the regular season means something to us. And I think for him, if we can see more of that playoff Jake Wallman throughout the regular season, paired with Connor Murphy, this top four looks really good. I'm seeing on Twitter some people who, are really high on the Oilers every year.
Well, okay, but the Oilers last year came into the season with a top 5 ranking in defensive category.
Right.
So, don't believe everything you see.
But
I would say this, Benny. I would believe it this year more when in terms of defensive stability.
Yes.
Because I really agree that I think the person that holds the keys to the car being Jake Wallman is Connor Murphy.
Yes.
We saw it here already. Darnell Nurse's time has come and gone. It was just time for a change. Mm-hmm. Now his responsibility is Jake Wallman, and I feel he'll be able to do a good job with that.
He should. This top four looks pretty damn good. Like when I'm thinking of all these guys' peaks and what their expectations are this year, and if they meet them, this top four looks pretty good on paper. Like Ekholm, Bouchard, Wallman, Connor Murphy is a very solid top four. Ryan Shea, to me, is a complete question mark. I have no clue what he's going to be. Hopefully, he's a solid bottom pair guy, or maybe even a little bit better than a bottom pair guy. A guy that's like, okay, he's on the third pair, but if someone's hurt, he jumps up and he can fill a role. Shakir Mukhamadullin, who is the guy that said in, I believe in a Russian article that he didn't appreciate maybe his ice time in San Jose and didn't feel like he got a fair shot, and he's excited for his opportunity here in Edmonton to possibly earn himself a regular spot, which is good. I'm excited to see what that means for him. Ty Emerson, we know what he is. Solid number 6 guy.
Yep, he can do the job.
Solid.
And he's improved every year.
Yes.
So there's an upside there that maybe
there's real competition for that final spot on that
which
D-core.
Is good. Which is definitely something that Oilers fans would embrace. All right, we're gonna get out. We're gonna come back. We're gonna revisit the off-topic topic for William Huff. We're gonna retire some Oilers, and then we're gonna look at some rivalry jerseys, which I think stink. But first, Brendan Eric.
2 guys and a goalie.
What was your favorite thing about doing 2 guys and a goalie?
You know what? My favorite thing was just hanging out with you guys. And I'll say that.
That's Cash, you're going to make me cry.
No, but it's true. It's true. It's just, it was, as I said before, you're hanging out with friends, you're having fun, you're talking about sports, you're meeting people where they're at, and through some crazy time, just always brought me joy.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Celebrate 50 years of the Toronto Blue Jays with Sentinel Storage. Enter for your chance to win the ultimate Jays collection of memorabilia. Visit bluejays.com/Sentinel Storage contest to enter and see full contest rules. Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including country music legend Lori Morgan, September 4th.
Except for Monday, which was...
She's a Grammy nominee and a CMA Award winner with over a dozen top 10 hits.
Part of no, don't you want...
Lori Morgan live at the River Cree, September 4th. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Back to school? Really?
Yay!
Really. As things settle back into a school routine in your home, you may need extra space. Sentinel Storage is here to help with a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
Frederick Anderson, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regular are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederick and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers open preseason September 19th against the Jets. On the field, Spencer Miles takes the bump for the Birds, while Randy Dobnak for the Royals. Game 2 of their set starts right now. Other games around the league in the bottom of the second, the Red Sox trail the Marlins 1-0, and in the top of the second, the Nats and the Rockies are tied at 2. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported the NFL will prohibit any players who return to the NCAA this season from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC is now joined by the Big Ten, they will both be penalizing coaches who bring in pros. The penalties include half a season suspension, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting at some point today. Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now. My name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
Final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, Brendan Eric, and myself, Benny Thomson, filling in for Reid Wilkins. We threw out the off-topic topic earlier today, and it was just around around connections in your life. You've made connections.
Well, we should play that video again.
Okay,
the sound.
The sound. So let's do that.
We'll get Brendan to get it up here. If you weren't here earlier in the show, this is something my mom found. God bless her. Bless your mothers. Hug them.
Right.
Because they do things like this. She had a cassette tape of Dustin Nielsen and I.
Yeah.
Back in the day. This was from 2015. We were calling Golden Bears football's games together.
Yeah.
And this is us on the call out in Regina.
Hands it off again to Simon. Nowhere to go. Ran into a little bit of a wall and then stumbled. Picked up about 3 yards on the carry.
Now you're going to be in second and long. It'll be interesting to see what the Golden Bears defense does here. Like I just mentioned, they were getting burnt on those crossers, those low crossers across the middle, where you'd give the ball to a 3-yard, 5-yard pass that would turn into a 20, 30-yard play. Let's see what the Golden Bears defense can do in this situation. 2nd and 7. Lucky Daniels just entered the game. That's a great name. That is a great name, isn't it? Here is Picton. 3 of those names on Regina. 2 brothers and a cousin. Here's the cousin over the top. Almost picked off. It is picked off. That's into the hands.
All right, so that was the off-topic topic. That was the genesis of it. Was most interesting connection that came through later in life. For me, that was Dustin, because 2015. Actually, Dustin probably has me to thank for being his wingman, because he wasn't calling CFL games at that point.
Yeah.
He didn't start calling CFL games till 2019, I believe. So him and I used to call Golden Bears football games back in the day, and it was a blast. It was such a fun time. But without that connection, Dustin wouldn't have shot me a text when EST opened his doors and said, "Hey, Jay, do you want to come and be a regular guest on the Hangout?" And then start there on the Hangout, and look where we are now.
Right.
Mama, I made it. Actually, Mama, I made it because you have that tape.
Right. Right.
So what is your interesting connection that came through later in life? Benny found one on the River Cree Resort and Casino
love stories here.
Love stories. Oh, even better.
Brad the Optician says, off-topic topic.
Is he a hip-hop-tician?
Good question.
Those who know.
Let us know, Brad. Off-topic topic. My sister had a boyfriend, but being shy at first, she didn't like going out by herself with him. So she'd take her best friend. But she didn't like being a third wheel. So I would tag along to even it out. 35 years.
Oh, my.
4 kids later. We are still together, and they never made it to second base.
That's second
awesome.
base. I love that.
That's awesome.
So he met his future wife through tagging along on his sister's dates.
Yes.
Classic. That is really good. Send yours in 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can also fill up the nasty chat. We are humming along with the thumbs. Look, we've got lots of people watching us on YouTube, and thanks for doing that. If you haven't yet, hammer the thumbs up. And if you're not able to give the thumbs up, that means you're probably not subscribed to Edmonton Sports Talk's YouTube channel. Which, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Didn't YouTube, Trev, have a stat about
I think it was
something like it's almost 50% of the people that are watching don't have an account.
No.
And here's the thing with the subscription. Is okay, thumbs up, that's great. It's great for Benny and I to know that you appreciate what we're doing, and Brendan, Eric, of course, on the 1s and 2s, but it helps spread the good word of Edmonton Sports Talk. It helps put it out there into those that word that everybody says, but nobody really knows the meaning of it, is the algorithm. That's what that helps us do when you subscribe as well. So please go ahead and do that. All right, we talked about it before the break. Ben, you said something to me earlier about Oilers and potentially numbers going to the rafters. What are you talking about here?
So I'm proposing the question of how many.
We can give okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give Damon Bunting for buying or selling an extra bonus plug here.
Because we're at his house tomorrow.
Because we are at his house tomorrow. So he's going to feed and water us all day. So we're going to buy or sell on what Benny and I are about to discuss for Damon Bunting Real Estate, who has been a consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. Community driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or the Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate.
There you go, Damon. I'll take a nice steak tomorrow. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I think you might.
Oh, sweet.
Joaquin Gage is golfing in the Damon Bunting Charity Golf Tournament.
Good.
Golf Classic.
Good.
We're going to have lots more on our show tomorrow, but just to give you guys a heads up.
Well, we don't have a Bears guy tomorrow as well.
Yes, we're going to have Tom Thayer from the Bears. DamonBunting.com. Now, there's going to be a live auction or silent auction that's going on. So we're going to have all the websites. We're going to have all the information of that, how you can donate, how you can get involved. And we're going to have a fun time tomorrow. But Ben, you were talking about, you want to retire jerseys? You want to retire
Let's retire jerseys. Let's fast forward 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
when these guys are done and like well into retirement.
Okay. So like 20 years would be 10 years after they're like, do you think, okay, I bet you're going to say that you think the Oilers will retire the number 97.
Correct.
Which I agree.
Yep.
I think they have to.
Yes, they absolutely have to.
Unless
what?
What if Connor leaves next offseason? He's gone.
You still do it.
You still do it?
Yeah,
I don't think you do.
Really?
If Connor McDavid leaves here next offseason, hasn't won a great cup, a Stanley Cup, you think that they're going to retire his jersey? Now, I might be playing a bit of devil's advocate. Okay?
I think you are. The best player in the NHL for 10 years straight. As much as I think Connor McDavid's been part of the problem. The reason why the Oilers haven't won a Stanley Cup. I mean, I'd
say he's way more on the positive side of that.
Yes, 1,000. He's done a whole lot more good than he has bad for this Oilers team. He is the face of this team. He is the face of the NHL. He is the guy, but
he hasn't won a Stanley Cup here. That's what I'm saying. Like Gretzky, before he was sold, he had already achieved greatness here in Edmonton, and they had a super team then. I'm saying if Connor McDavid leaves without winning a Stanley Cup, I don't know. You will be able to put that number in the rafters.
He brought this team out of the decade of darkness, Jay. Their team that he did. I'm sorry. There was Draisaitl helped out too. We'll get to him. But McDavid has brought this team to 2 Stanley Cup finals. Has completely shifted. This team was a horrible team for more than 10 years. And the fact that they are coming around now are one of the biggest markets in the NHL. Ice District's been incredible. The atmosphere around Edmonton, the biggest reason has been because Connor McDavid was selected by the Edmonton Oilers.
I could see a world in which they do, okay? But I'm just saying, if he leaves next offseason, that's why I said next offseason, it's not in great terms.
He's done enough.
It's not on great terms.
In great terms, okay, then maybe.
He's saying, I'm out of here. Trade me.
I think...
Or hey, I'm not going to extend. I'm not going to re-sign. You might as well get something for me now.
Yeah.
And let's start the bidding.
I think it's a respectful way.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because you could be John Tavares, leave the Long Island, and didn't tell him until July 1. We're going. I'm going to be the pajama boy. I'm going home. Mm-hmm. The Islanders were left with nothing, which then led to more mediocrity for a couple more years before they figured it out.
Leon Draisaitl is signed here till the 30s.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Nope.
He'll probably he might do a Ray Bourque, go chase one at the very end, in which Oilers fans at that point would say, "Go get one, Leon.
Yep.
Go get one." If he hasn't already, okay. I think that would be more palatable to then retire 29.
Yeah.
Than a 97 jersey who left you guys high and dry.
That would feel so wrong. To me, that would just be.
I'm just saying.
That would feel so wrong. It's the duo, McDavid, Draisaitl. Both their numbers are getting retired.
Yeah, but okay, CDJ. I understand. He says 97 and 29 will be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. It would look ridiculous if the Oilers kept them out of the rafters. Just because you make the Hockey Hall of Fame does not mean your jersey's getting retired. I mean, there's several.
You play 10
Oilers.
years. 10 years here. More than 10 years. It'll be. I understand you didn't bring the team a Stanley Cup, but you brought the team out of a massive, massive hole. This organization was a laughing stock for 10 years. Number one overall picks left and right. Not a whole lot of them worked out. And Connor McDavid steps into Edmonton and everything changed. It's it is now, he became, the reason why free agents would sign here is because the guy plays here. Ice District is nice now, and Daryl Cates has done a really good job with that. But Zach Hyman does not sign here without Connor McDavid. Matthias Ekholm does not re-sign here without Connor McDavid.
What if Connor McDavid leaves next offseason, which would be not in good terms, not in good standing. Mm-hmm. He wants out. Now, good guy move to say, Oilers, I'm not I'm not doing it here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not signing the big super contract, which I think he is. I think this is all a ruse.
Yeah.
Connor ain't going anywhere. That's just my opinion. However, if we're just playing the game of throwing hypotheticals around,
right.
Connor McDavid leaves, goes and wins 2 Stanley Cups with the San Jose Sharks.
Yep.
In your Pacific Division, kicking the you-know-what out of the Oilers for the next 8 years. You're retiring that number?
I think you got to respect what he's done here, man.
I think San Jose would retire his number.
Probably.
And they'd be perfectly entitled to.
Well, yeah, of course. Franchise bringing the first Stanley Cup to that franchise, of course they would. But to me,
this is a good conversation.
Oh, it is, and he's going to go in the Hall of Fame. If the guy is a top 10 player all time, he retires top 10 player all time. You got to retire his jersey number where he played majority of his career. And no matter where he goes, I have a strong feeling that majority of his career will be as an Edmonton Oiler. I still think they would retire his number. To be honest, Oilers, if he leaves, how can you be mad at the guy? How can you?
I'm not saying I know there is a part of Oilers fans. Look, if he leaves, there's going to be there's going to be a part of the Oilers fandom that will they'll tear his jersey up. Right? There are people that will just feel that way. There are going to be people that are saying, go get it, Connor, whatever, And that's been a question we've asked. Do Oilers fans want a cup for the Oilers or do they want it for Connor? Because they feel he deserves it, which he does.
I think he does.
Okay, he does.
And he does no matter what happens.
The Oilers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers retired. Number 3, Al Hamilton. Kevin Lowe, number 4. Number 7, Paul Coffey. Number 9, Glenn Anderson. Number 11, Mark Messier. Number 17, Yari Curry. Number 31, Grant Fuhr. And number, obviously, 99, Wayne Gretzky.
Which, again, obviously, Gretzky gets traded, brought cups here. A whole team, or a whole league had to retire his number. But I'm sure the Oilers had no problem doing that.
Because the reason I looked that up is because Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont said, which Oilers have had their numbers retired that haven't won a cup?
I think all those have won cups.
Al Hamilton, did he not? I don't think Al Hamilton won a Stanley Cup.
No. Then
the rest would. Al Hamilton did not.
Right.
So there is one that is retired that hasn't won a Stanley Cup. But all the others are from those dynasty years.
Well, yeah, because he played 1 year in the NHL. Everything else is he did play in the NHL, not with the Oilers though.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the team when they came here in 80.
Do you think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' number?
That's the other one.
I don't think it's even close. That number is not getting retired. He's going on the Ring of Honor.
Yeah. And I think that's why that was introduced. Is for guys
like
the Smitties of the world.
Smitty.
Right.
The Puckies of the world.
Smitty's the perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Those guys.
You got to have room for them.
Yes.
You can't retire every number.
I think Evan Bouchard will get there.
The Ring?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I think the Ring. Maybe jersey. Maybe. I think he has a higher chance than Nuge.
I agree 100%.
Like Evan Bouchard is already a top 10 defenseman in the NHL, and he's 25.
Here's the thing. Look at this list of guys I just said: Kevin Lowe, Paul Coffey, Glenn Anderson, Mark Messier, Yari Curry, Grant Fuhr, Wayne Gretzky. Those guys all had that one thing in common: championships.
Mm-hmm.
If this current iteration of the Oilers can go and ring off 2-3 Stanley Cups in the next 5 years, 6 years, yeah, they all getting retired. The Oilers are going to run out of numbers. They're going to have to go to 3-digit numbers because 2's getting retired, 29's getting retired, 97's getting retired, and 18's getting retired if he sticks around.
Yeah.
If they can bring 2 to 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
We are off the rails with this.
This
we
are.
Is hypothetical city. Caps lock hypothetical.
If Bouchard were to get his jersey number retired here, it would be because he was a part of at least 2 Stanley Cups here. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl stayed here. Bouchard had a 100-point season. Evan Bouchard fixed his defensive game a little bit. That's what will have to happen. But there's, to me, a long enough runway for him to do it.
Am I making this up, or do you have to be in the Hall of Fame to get your number retired by the Oilers?
Well, Big Uke said that's the Oilers' rule.
I think so.
Oh, that's the Oilers'
rule. You
rule.
must be in the Hall to be retired.
Yeah.
Evan
Never
Bouchard
said anything about cups. No, I was simply answering a question that came in on the River Careers or Casino inbox.
Yeah.
It was that were all the retired jerseys people that won Stanley Cups? The answer is no. Scotty knows. Would the Jets retire Helly's number if he stays?
No.
You got to win. You got to win.
With him, it's different. With him, I understand he's been a really good goalie, one of the best, if not the best at times. But he's not like I more think of like legacy. Is Connor Hellebuyck going to be a top 10 player all time? No. He will be talked about in this generation as one of the best goalies to play in this generation.
One of.
Yes, that's the key word. One of.
Yeah.
That's that the McDavid is already. If he were retired tomorrow, he's going to be talked about as maybe the most skilled player of all time. That to me, where did he do most of that in his career? Edmonton. Brought them out of a decade of darkness. I think he deserves to have his jersey retired because of it.
All right, the Esties are presented by Mr. Mike's. This was a fantastic conversation, by the way. Thank you, Nasties, for chiming in and sharing your thoughts. Hammer that thumbs up if you haven't yet. We've got to get out, but we are going to be discussing the recurring guest of the year category for the Esties presented by Mr. Mike's right up after the break. Brendan, take it away.
Frederik Andersen, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp next month. Frederik and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers opened preseason September 19th against the Jets. The Jays and Royals got the second game of their set underway. Currently, at the end of the first, it is a 0-0 game, both sides having one hit apiece. Elsewhere around the majors, 2 games in the top of the third, the Marlins leading the Bo Sox 2-0, whereas the Nats have a 1-0 lead on the Rockies. The Yankees and Astros just got underway in the bottom of the first. They are tied at 1s. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported the NFL will prohibit any player who returns to the NCAA from signing another contract with the NFL in 2026. While the SEC is now joined by the Big Ten, they will be penalizing coaches who bring in pros. The penalties will include a half-season suspension, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting at some point today. This sports update is brought to you by the Elks. It doesn't start on game day, it starts before kickoff. Get your single game tickets today and be there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. Lock in your seats now at goelks.com/tickets. SG's Chatter around the break. My name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Is the Oilers' window to win a Stanley Cup wide open, slightly closed, or closed?
I'm leaning closed.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be it's open until McDavid leaves. Figure out what's up there.
I think that was their chance. Do I think that this team is a great team, is an amazing team? No.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
One moment, you're driving to work. The next, you're facing serious injuries, mounting paperwork, and insurance companies focused on their bottom line. That's where you want Rick Mallett and the team at Hammer Injury Law on your side. For more than 35 years, Rick has helped injured Albertans stand up to insurance companies and pursue the compensation they deserve, with no legal fees unless your case is successful. Serious injuries need the Hammer. Call 1-855-98-HAMMER.
What's that number again?
1-855-98-HAMMER. Or learn more at hammerinjurylaw.ca.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Ready to raise the stakes? At Play Alberta, bigger bets and buy-ins are now available for nearly all live dealer games. From blackjack to baccarat, your favorite tables are waiting to deal you in. Whether you're kicking back at home or looking for some fun on the go, now's your chance to enhance your Play Alberta experience with new elevated stakes. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's the weekend. The sun is out, and everyone, yes, even the kids, are bored. Bring them to the Canadian Brew House. Our patios have games to keep the whole family going. Rooftop views, real turf to run around on, and misters for when the summer gets serious. Oh, and we've still got the game on. Always. All day, all weekend, all summer. The Canadian Brew House. Canada's best patios.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences. Plus, all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom. And from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest co-host Ben Thomson. The Oilers released a statement today about training camp and those participating in said training camp. They announced that forwards Matthias Janmark, Matt Savoy, along with defenseman Alec Regula and the goaltender Frederik Andersen are not expected to participate in training camp next month. That came out at 2:30 p.m. today. Benny, what you got?
Heard a little bit about Savoy's situation. Now we're finding out through a verified source. So if you don't believe me, Ryan Rashog has now tweeted out. Sounds like Savoy and Anderson will be available late October or so. Not like that guy needs any verification on his report, but I could tell you that's pretty much hearing similar things.
So it sounds like they'll be missing a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
So sounds like a month or two in terms of recovery, regular season wise, missing a month. I'd imagine both of these injuries are lower body. And I don't know, for Anderson's knee for sure. I'd imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar situation for Savoy too.
So their first regular season games on September 29th. Ryan Rashog has said that they will be available at the end of October.
Yeah. So that's which isn't great. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're missing a month. It's of regular season game. It's not that big of a deal. Again, like we were talking about earlier, the Oilers were missing Zach Hyman and Jake Wallman to start last year. And I would say those are bigger pieces to this team. Maybe not Freddie Andersen because that's still a question mark. But this is, next man up.
We were talking about it in the break.
This is a massive opportunity for two young guys. To me, that the highlight with these injuries, Devin Levi, Ike Howard. These are huge opportunities for those guys to impress in camp, have big roles to start the season. If they get off running, to me, when I'm looking at the deadline for the Oilers, I wasn't really thinking Ike Howard was going to be a top 6 forward for this team during a cup run. If he gets going and gets hot, start off the season, maybe that's their fix. Boom, he's a top 6 forward. For Devin Levi's case, it was a 3 goalie rotation. They were worried about if Freddie Andersen's going to be healthy or if Tristan Jarry bounces back. If Devin Levi shows he's a promising goaltender, boom, the Oilers have their goalie for this year and maybe even years to come. These are 2 huge opportunities for 2 young guys the Oilers have here. It's up to them to go get it.
How the turns table.
Yes.
I believe is what they say. Brendan Eric. All right, the Esties are presented by Mr. Mike's. We're going to keep our eye on this. This is obviously a story that is developing as we continue on. If we see anything or hear anything, we'll let you know. But it would appear as though Savoy and
Andersen
are going to be missing some time. 1 to 2 months, would you say?
1 to 2 months.
Okay.
Yep.
Estes presented by Mr. Mike's. Wednesdays just got saucier at Mr. Mike's. It's Wing Wednesday. Every Wednesday from 4 p.m. till close. Get 10 wings for just $10 or go big with Wings and Frings platter for $19.98. Dine in only. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually. That's today. That's Wednesday.
Bang.
10 wings, $10.
Come on.
Woo, baby. All right. Today's category that we're going to be discussing is a recurring guest of the year. Ben, you got the nominees there?
I do, yeah. I mean, we have some fantastic ones. Craig Button is always...
Yeah, I'm thinking like from our show, if we could talk about the Reid Wilkins Show.
Yes.
Luke's got to be up there.
Luke Gazdick has got to be up here for sure. Gaz is fantastic. I mean, it depends what we're classifying though, because it's like Jay Onright, been on multiple times here. Is he
on the list?
He's on the list.
This reeks of Coob.
Possibly.
Jay Onright,
there's
recurring guest.
There's so much description on him that has to be Coob.
Thank you. A recurring guest to me is somebody that says, "Okay, this is your time slot."
Yeah,
this is when you get
right under it. Austin Jenkins, the guy I got you guys for the
that
Barger.
Was one time
that was
only.
that was one time. So
like a recurring guest for the Reid Wilkins Show
I don't think that this is separated.
Is Jed Roberts?
Yes,
Jed Roberts is a recurring guest. I would say. I mean, this category would definitely like the morning show, the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Mm-hmm. They have insiders, 6 to 9 a.m. right here in Edmonton Sports Talk. Simulcast on 95.7 Cruise FM. They have insiders that are regular guests. Mm-hmm. We have Luke Gazdick. We have Jed Roberts. I mean,
those two.
Bucky. Greg Buchanan should be on that list.
Yes, Bucky. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because I don't think we've separated it on this category here. We just have all guests.
Coob's nomination rights need to be revoked.
I agree. Totally agree. This is ridiculous.
I've seen the morning show. I've seen what they've had to do to this list. Like, God bless you, Coob, but you know, like the guy that caught the baseball.
Yeah.
Austin Jenkins.
Yeah.
He was on our show once. Maybe recurring just doesn't align. Like, one-time guests are not recurring. Jay Onright comes on maybe thrice a year.
Yeah.
That's not recurring. There's no schedule to Jay Onright being on this show.
No. Ken Reid? How often is he on?
Not scheduled.
Enough. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not a scheduled guy.
Like so Mark Killam. Mark Killam could be a recurring guest.
Yes.
Actually, he should be on the list.
Yes.
If you want to add him to it.
I believe he is. Mark Letestu.
Mark Letestu has been on a couple times.
Mark
but
Killam is there. Yeah.
Bucky Buchanan from Wagon Wednesday should be on. Mark Killam from The Mark Killam Show should be on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting don't blame Coob. Let Coob cook or someone else put in some effort. How do you know who puts in effort? I've added to this list. It's our list. Coob just puts things in the wrong category.
Coob.
And you can tell it's him because
Coob fills this thing up. I'll give him that. It is.
Well, and it is kind of the producer's role. That's what they're doing behind the scenes. That's how it was laid out. If you have anything, we all have access to it. I've put in nominations in there.
Right.
Because you can tell when it's Coob.
you can see
it's about a sentence long.
More.
It's funny. Yeah, I would say don't touch the list.
Don't delete anything. Because that guy got ripped for it.
Oh, yeah. Chet Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
The bookbinder. I wonder if we just load it with Reid's characters.
We could do that, or they could be live performance.
Yeah. Where is the EST Employee of the Year award? I don't believe there is one.
I don't think we have one. I think that's kind of the point of the Estes is to highlight all different sorts of what being an employee here is. You know.
I guess I'm not an employee then.
Okay.
It would be good. It would be good. And I agree with you, Rip City Step. Coob is fighting for he loves the nominating guests for Reid's show. He loves nominating guests for EST Afternoons. Yeah. You are right, and we're just poking fun with the Coob. He's off for a few days, so we're just he's listening. We love you, Coob. Drive safe. Enjoy your. Where's he going to see a concert?
Noah Khan.
Noah Khan.
Yeah,
that's the guy we listened to yesterday. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, recurring guest. Who would the morning what are some of the names on there?
Craig Button was one of the big ones.
Button's up there.
For
Noodles
sure.
got to be up there.
Noodles. Oh, yeah, Noodles is the best. Why did I lose? They got Bruce.
Brujo.
Bruce.
Boudreaux.
Bruce, I think, won last year.
Bruce, there it is.
Bruce, there it is. He's incredible. He's just incredible stuff.
What about a recurring guest on the Hangout?
Yeah. So what is that?
Steve Sandor.
Yeah, Steve Sandor's been on a couple times. Dee Millard's been on a couple times. Who else is on there regularly?
Crush.
Oh, Crush is a good one. Crush, really, really good one. There's a Hangout Guest of the Year award, so I think they got their own one there. Brant Myers has been on a couple times. Radomski. Radomski is a really good one. So they got a couple. Mark Connolly. Patty. Yeah, that's going Vincenzo. Patty from Brewhouse.
Patty is a beauty.
Yep.
That's a great nomination. All right. Well, that's the Estes presented by Mr. Mike's, happening Tuesday, September 15th at the Varscona Theater. Tickets are sold out. So I don't know if Maddie's got plans for it, if he's, what he's going to do or what he's going to try do. I don't know. A reminder that portions of this hour are brought to you by Commonwealth Stadium. Know you before you go for Commonwealth Stadium tonight, as Guns N' Roses are taking the stage at Commonwealth Stadium. All guests are encouraged to arrive early to go through security screening lines at Commonwealth Stadium. Gates open at 5 p.m. with the opening act starting at 6:25. All times are subject to change. Please check Ticketmaster and the ticket holder's email. Know before you go for more information. Thanks to our good friends at Commonwealth Stadium. Nolan from St. Albert just texted in a picture to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox at 780-218-9999. He and his sister have made it to Commonwealth Stadium. They are going to be taking in Guns N' Roses tonight.
Nice. Let's go.
Rip City Step. Jay Milne is a recurring guest on the Hangout. That's true.
True.
But I don't think I qualify. Well, I'm just going to say I'm not in the running. I'm out of that.
This guy does not want an Esty for the life of him.
Well, who is I can't remember this name of the soap actress. I guess a soap actor who didn't win, was nominated 18 times and didn't win. Susan Lucci. I'm going to be the Susan Lucci of EST. That's my goal. Imagine 18 years.
18 years, no awards.
If I'm here in 18 years, that'd be good, I guess. Max and Millie says Dash in the Park.
Oh, yes. Dash, go on.
That's a good one as well. All right. That was fun. All right. Thank you for joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. We're going to be back with Words of the Day. Now, given that it is Wednesday, this is a Bootski edition special for Benny, slang term number 4. We're going to see if Benny can go, because you went 4 for 4
with the Bootski on the first
Monday, 4 for 4 today, and we'll see how it goes for the rest of the week. 4 for 4 today could mean a huge Friday coming up. We'll be right back on the Reid Wilkins Show. Brad and Eric, take it away.
Frederick Anderson, Matt Savoy, Matthias Janmark, and Alex Regula are not expected to participate in training camp. Frederick and Savoy are rehabbing injuries that appeared during off-season training, while Janmark and Regula are recovering from medical procedures near the end of last season. The Oilers opened preseason September 19th against the Jets. The Jays and Royals got the second game of their set underway. In the top of the third, it's a 0-0 game. Jays have a runner on first with no outs. Elsewhere around the majors, the Nats lead the Rockies 1-0, and the Marlins still topping the Red Sox 2-rip. Meanwhile, ESPN has reported the NFL will prohibit any player who returns to the NCAA this season from signing with another NFL team in 2026. While the SEC is now joined by the Big Ten, they will both be penalizing coaches who bring in pros. The penalties include half a season suspension, a fine that matches 50% of the sport's annual budget, and withdrawal from league voting rights. The NFL will provide more clarity on the matter during a meeting at some point today. Words of the Day finishes off our show after the break. My name is Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Edmonton Oilers announced today that forwards Matthias Janmark and Matt Savoy, along with defenseman Alec Regula and goaltender Frederick Anderson, are not expected to participate in training camp next month.
Well, Stan Bowen really messed up here. Why aren't they doing aqua aerobics?
Oh, man. Yeah. But Freddie Anderson already? Are you freaking kidding me, man?
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including country music legend Lori Morgan, September 4th.
Except for Monday, which was
She's a Grammy nominee and a CMA Award winner with over a dozen top 10 hits.
part of no, don't you want?
Lori Morgan live at the River Cree September 4th. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
All right, it's the final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show with myself, Jay Milne, guest co-host Ben Thomson. We've got Brendan Eric running the ones and twos. A reminder, Reid Wilkins is off this week. He will return next week. Visit playalberta.ca/EST for more details. You're going to want to check that out. Jay's play of the day is live. It was a CFL play, all money line, Montreal, Calgary, Saskatchewan, and BC, as Ben gets used to his new mouth. You okay over there?
That wasn't my mouth. It was my water bottle has two different ways of taking water.
Oh, you
out
can
of it.
suck on it, or you can spout it.
Yes. This one got all over me.
Jay's play of the day: Montreal Alouettes to win, Calgary Stampeders to win, Saskatchewan Roughriders to win, and BC Lions to win. Boosted to plus 281. Ben, would you mind showing your water bottle?
It's a.
It's an Awala.
Awala.
Trust me, I know what those are.
Yeah.
Why are these are the rage? What is up with water bottles? Water bottles are the most. They're as necessary of an add-on to your person as a purse. Or
I know, it's crazy.
As a like one of those fancy what do they
fanny
call
packs.
them? Fanny packs. I mean, so there was the Stanley Cup, right? That was the one that with the big handle and the big straw that sticks out that everybody and their dog needs to seem to have. What are you laughing about?
Those are goofy.
You got a Stanley Cup collection, don't you?
Absolutely not.
No,
I can respect them, but
travel. Put yourself on camera and show your.
I got my small one today.
That is small, but your regular water bottle has got to be double that size. No.
I can get Benny and I.
Sure, go ahead. I just want people to see this is the small one. So what's the fluid ounces on that bad boy?
This guy
gotta be 32. 28?
40.
That's 40.
40.
So the one you
do
roll
you down
with,
all those? Like, do you down it?
Yeah, this is like the second water bottle of the day.
Wow.
So how many of those do you drink a day?
The big one, I try and dummy at work, and most days it's not a challenge.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, just moving and grooving. Like the last couple of days we've been pulling cable.
The big one's
64, 70.
Big one's big.
Big one's big.
The big one's big. Good for you. I've heard it's very healthy to drink a lot of water at work. I like to drink water
Well,
at
the
work.
first thing I do when I get in here every day, even before we do our little handshake, is just go straight to the washroom. Like
I was gonna say you gotta be pissing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's
glad to know. I'm really glad to know that you go directly to the washroom and
you see it.
pee before we do our handshake.
Oh,
how come your hands have never been wet?
Because I
dries them.
towels.
Dries them.
What do you mean? We don't even involve our hands.
Yeah,
that's true. We don't actually. What do we call that? Where you go
arm lock?
Like an arm lock. We do an arm lock. Oftentimes there's a tap on the backside. Usually lower back.
Lower back.
Nate the Builder's suggesting it's his water bottle.
It is.
It's a nice water bottle.
Thanks, Nate.
I got 60 of those things in my house.
Exactly. He's got 10 of them. I'm like, okay, all right, I can take one. Like, come on. He doesn't need all of them.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm so bad for drinking water. Like I'm so
good for you.
I'm
It's very healthy.
I need to have this around me at all times. And even then though I don't even finish one of these in a day, man. I'm so bad. It's horrible.
All right. We've got to do this. This is the Abutski edition Benny slang terms number 4.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
I still have CDJ says, that's what sons do. They take your cool stuff. My oldest is at the same, like her and my wife they have the same size feet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
same. My dad and I have.
It's over.
Yeah.
Like my wife's like, where is that?
Yeah.
Why is that out of my closet? Why is that on you? Good times though. That's fun. I like that stuff. All right. These are the words of the day presented by Abutski. This is special slang term edition number 4 for Benny. Okay. So for those that are just tuning in, Abutski, God bless you. He does special words for Benny because the kids have slang. Mm-hmm. Right, the kids use slang. What was the one the other day?
Mogging and chopped.
Yeah, chopped. Yeah, slap chop. That's right, slap chop.
Slap chopped. Yeah.
This the first one here is Gucci.
Gucci. Gucci. Dun, da, da, da. I mean, like I've heard this a couple times. I don't think this is like I wouldn't say this is. I guess this is kind of slang. Basically, it means like everything's good. Like when you say, all Gucci, everything's good. All Gucci.
Yes, it means you're good.
Yeah.
The sentence he provided. Am I bugging you? Nah, you're Gucci.
You're Gucci. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go tell my friends I'm going for wings with them right after this. I'm gonna be like, "What's up, boys? We all Gucci?"
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Hey, we Gucci?
Maybe not with that tone.
Yeah.
Don't you have to say it like this?
It's supposed to be it's a nonchalant. It's a nonchalant like.
Okay, so if I went up to them and I'm like,
"Yeah, we're Gucci.
What's up, guys? We Gucci."
Well, how are the wings? They're Gucci.
Yeah,
they're Gucci.
Yeah.
See, that is a problem. Why don't you just say they're good?
You have
that's what it means.
Yeah, you guys have your
other
own
words
slang.
for good.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
This is just
tremendous.
Ours.
Why can't we have our own things, man?
Because good is an actual word.
Yeah,
so is
Gucci. Gucci's a word.
Gucci's a brand.
You're telling me it's not a word?
You're not. No. Just my. This is problematic.
No.
Like, are you ever gonna say like Gucci on air?
Never.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Because it's slang.
Maybe.
But I think in your guys' world, you believe in 20 years when all us old guys are gone and dead, that you'll be using the word Gucci on air, and I just don't see it because it's not proper grammar. I'll give you credit; you can use it now. I'm just
saying it's more like
I'm just old school.
It's a casual conversation. In casual conversation, not for air, I would say Gucci. In casual conversation, I would say mogged and chopped, but I wouldn't say that on air. So
okay.
What about the next word you got for me?
You're 3 for 3 now. The second word. Now, these are slang, so you got to consider that. Selling.
Oh, yes. Let's go. SELLING.
Bring it on. I'm selling.
I love it. Selling means like you are throwing the game.
Oh, my gosh. Did you know that, Brandon?
No.
Like, you couldn't have described it better.
The other day?
Yeah. Didn't know mogged? Okay, yeah. It's a certain type of...
You couldn't have described it better. While playing a game, playing poorly, making a major mistake, or throwing a match so that your team loses. Benny's opponent said, "That's it. I'm getting killed here. I'm selling." So you're throwing.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's it's very like it's a gamer term. It's like if you're in a game and like you have that one bad teammate, you're going, "Okay, stop selling, man. Like God, like let's go." Yeah, selling is like you're basically throwing the game. The weak link, all that type of stuff. So I love that. I've heard that many times. I've been a guy that's been selling on some Sixes teams in NHL. I've done that before.
Old man yells at cloud, says Rip City Step. Yes, I figured this was going to happen. Supersized Indiana Jones, can't say Dons, can't say Gucci. The EST boomers are wildin'.
Get some back up here.
Yeah,
what's wildin' mean?
Yeah, what does wildin' mean?
He should have said the EST boomers are crazy.
Sure. All right.
Does that work?
It's not as fun.
Way less fun.
Yeah.
Well, I am learning some things. I'm going to go home and tell my daughters and Gucci, and man, I'm selling.
Yeah.
They're going to look like you have 3 eyes.
Yeah. Like
exactly. Benny sold in his 5 minute game. Yes, I sold. I completely sold the bag there.
Okay. This was fun. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. Just a programming note. We will be on location tomorrow at the Damon Bunting Charity Golf Classic. All proceeds and go towards the Robin Hood Association in Sherwood Park. So you're going to want to be tuned in live as Benny. We're going to compete in some crazy challenge.
Something.
He's got a basketball court in his backyard. All right. That was the Reid Wilkins Show. Right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. On behalf of myself, Ben Thomson, and Brendan Eric, have a great night. We'll chat soon.